Welcome to the Find My Fund Search-a-thon. I am Megan Aguirre, Nebraska Director of Unclaimed Property and NAPA President. Today, we are on a mission to solve a multi-billion-dollar mystery. Did you know that 1 in 7 Americans is believed to have unclaimed property waiting for them? That is money from forgotten security deposits, uncashed paychecks, and old bank accounts, just sitting in state programs waiting for the rightful owner to come forward. Every year, we celebrate February 1st as National Unclaimed Property Day to raise awareness of these vital consumer protection programs. Behind this massive effort are two key organizations, the National Association of State Treasurers and the National Association of Unclaimed Property Administrators. NAST is a bipartisan group of state finance officials dedicated to sound financial policies for all citizens. NAPA is an affiliate of NAST and the foremost authority on unclaimed property. NAPA is comprised of state programs from all 50 states, DC, U.S. territories, and Canadian provinces. Together, these organizations have worked to create missingmoney.com, the only national database endorsed by states and provinces to help you search for your missing funds across multiple borders simultaneously, and it's always free. Last year alone, these programs returned over $4.49 billion to people just like you. Our goal is simple: protect consumers and reunite you with what's rightfully yours. Since relaunching missingmoney.com in 2022, we are closing in on a milestone of 100 million searches performed, but we need your help to get there. Over the next 3 hours, we're taking you coast to coast to hear from state programs and encourage you to start your search on missingmoney.com. If you find money today, head over to unclaimed.org/found to share your success story. So grab your clues, like an old address and maiden names, and head to missingmoney.com to start your search. Let's kick off our program by learning more about Unclaimed Property Day and what is unclaimed property.
Oh no! You left the mail, and you left me!
Some things shouldn't be left behind.
No, don't go, don't go!
Your money is one of them.
When you can't find money on the ground, poke around on the state's website because there's millions of dollars waiting to be found.
You can do the math. The odds that we have your money are a whole lot better than your odds of winning the lottery.
Today, the first time ever, it's been named National Unclaimed Property Day.
Hello, I'm California State Controller Malia Cohen, and today is Unclaimed Property Day.
Today is also Unclaimed Property Day. It's a good day to take a chance and see if you can claim any lost or forgotten money or property.
Today is a day that's goofy, but it's also potentially important. It's National Unclaimed Property Day.
On February 1st, we are going to celebrate National Unclaimed Property Day.
February 1st is National Unclaimed Property Day.
Today is National Unclaimed Property Day.
Well, this might be able to put some extra money in your pocket. Today is National Unclaimed Property Day.
You never know, you might have some money just sitting around that you've forgotten about. If so, the Illinois Treasurer wants you to claim it. Today is National Unclaimed Property Day, where states encourage people to see if they have any money owed to them.
Hi everybody, it's Dave Young, the Colorado State Treasurer, and I'm here to talk about National Unclaimed Property Day. It's February 1st, and we have $2 billion of cold hard cash and objects like this that we are anxious to get back to you. It's unclaimed property.
Iowans broke a new record during the state's 2025 Unclaimed Property Day. The state treasurer says more than 13,000 individual claims were filed. That's up 92% from last year.
The Missouri treasurer says a record amount of unclaimed property has been returned by the state over the last 2 years. Scott Fitzpatrick says more than $100 million worth of items were returned.
Vermonters got back nearly $10 million in previously unclaimed property.
I'm very excited to announce today that in my time in office, we have now returned over $1 billion to Illinois citizens, businesses, nonprofits throughout our state.
Some things shouldn't be left behind. Your money is one of them.
Oh, hey, it didn't go through. Oh, no. You're not paying attention. You're just going to leave me in there? In the digital abyss? Oh, come on.
Ever heard the term unclaimed property? Let's clear up the mystery. In the United States, about 1 in 7 people have unclaimed property. Each year, NAPA member programs returned billions to its rightful owner. But billions are still waiting to be claimed. So what is it? Simply put, unclaimed property is money or assets owed to you that you haven't collected. This isn't just loose change. We're talking about forgotten bank accounts, uncashed payroll checks, stocks, insurance payouts, or utility security deposits. Think about it. Maybe you moved and forgot a final utility deposit. Or a company you worked for years ago owes you an old paycheck. Perhaps you inherited something or a refund check got lost in the mail. When a business can't contact you for a set number of years, a dormancy period, the property is considered abandoned. Before that property is sent to the state, the company holding it has a legal duty to find you one last time. This is due diligence. They will send a formal notice to your last known address. If you get one, don't ignore it. It's your best chance to claim your property directly from the company and prevent it from being turned over to the state. Remember, state programs are a last resort. They only want to safeguard property for owners who are truly lost. If the company can't find you, they are legally required to turn those funds over to the state's Unclaimed Property Program. The state then holds onto it to give it back to you. This isn't a government handout. This is your money, and the state is simply safeguarding it. So, how do you get it back? It's easy and always free. You might receive offers from third-party companies or finders to find this money for you, for a fee. Here's the secret: you don't need them. Be wary of anyone asking for a fee. You can do the exact same search yourself for free. Visit missingmoney.com. This is the only trusted national database endorsed by the National Association of Unclaimed Property Administrators and lets you search many programs at once. Or check out unclaimed.org to get a link directly to your state's official program. Search your name, search your maiden name, search for your parents or grandparents. You just might find a forgotten fortune. If unclaimed property is found, you will be provided an online claim form for reclaiming the property. Identifying documentation to prove your ownership may be required as part of the process. What are you waiting for? Reclaim what's rightfully yours.
To start off, we're heading to the Constitution State, where over $1 billion is waiting to be claimed. Connecticut is making it easier than ever to solve the mystery of your missing money with their Big Match program. Let's hear from State Treasurer Eric Russell on their program.
Can you briefly introduce yourself to the viewers and tell us who you are and what your office does with unclaimed property?
Sure. So my name is Eric Russell. I am the state treasurer here in Connecticut. And in that capacity, I serve as the elected chief financial officer for the state. And so with that, I am responsible for the state's cash and debt management, how we're investing in things like transportation infrastructure and schools and housing in the state. I oversee about a $68 billion pension portfolio, which is the retirement security for state employees and teachers and retirees. Long-term investments with things like our 529 college savings programs, Connecticut baby bonds. But a big piece of that is also unclaimed property. And that is where the state ultimately gets resources that are owed to individuals. And our goal is to safeguard those funds and then get them back to rightful owners as quickly as possible. So if someone had an old bank account that they lost track of, if there was an old paycheck that there was never cashed, if there was a utility deposit that was supposed to be returned to an individual and they were not able to access it, those funds come back to the state. And our goal is to try to get those resources back to rightful owners and reconnect them with those funds. So in Connecticut alone, we're holding about $1 billion in unclaimed property. But all across the country, there's about $4 billion of unclaimed property that is returned to rightful owners every year. And so about 1 in 7 Americans have unclaimed property that is out there. Our goal, again, is to make sure we're getting those resources back to people as quickly as possible. And there's a couple ways that we can do that. For individuals here in Connecticut, you could go to ctbiglist.gov and you can check to see if you have unclaimed property. To do a search for unclaimed property all across the country, you can go to missingmoney.com and check if you have resources there as well. So if an individual goes to CT Big List, for example, they can search their name, and if they have any unclaimed property that's held by the state, their name will come up and they'll be able to submit a claim right there on the website. We've also done a lot of work to really improve technology, particularly around data matching and process improvements. And with that, we've launched CT Big Match, which is a new program that automatically returns money to individuals who have any amount under $2,500 that is owned by a single owner. With that, we will send a letter automatically and then ultimately cut a check directly to that rightful owner. And we've seen the impact of this already. Since improving much of this technology, we've returned $121 million just in the last year alone. And so we're going to continue to really focus on this efficiency to make sure that we're getting money back to people as quickly as possible.
Do you have any final advice to say to the viewers?
I would just say to check regularly for unclaimed property. I personally do this on an annual basis. It's part of my process when I go through filing my taxes that I go to check to see if I have unclaimed property, because these lists are updated on a very regular basis. And so you can always see if you have resources out there. And listen, we're at a moment in time right now where folks are struggling and it's difficult to make ends meet. And if you have the opportunity to access funds, some that you've lost track of and may not be counting on. I've had myself a quarter on unclaimed property at times, but we've also returned checks to the tune of millions of dollars, right? This is not just for residents or individuals. This is also businesses that could have unclaimed property. It could be organizations, municipalities, school districts. And so I just encourage everyone to make that a regular part of your routine to check to see if you have unclaimed property out there. Hi, I'm State Treasurer Eric Russell, and I just want to thank all of my other state financial officers for really getting the word out about unclaimed property as we head into National Unclaimed Property Day. We know this is such a difficult time for so many families all across this country. And imagine finding out that you had some unclaimed property out there that you could use to help pay a bill or to put some groceries in your fridge. And so really, this is about spreading the word. It's about getting people to understand that on an annual basis, we should be checking to see if we have these resources out there, knowing that we are all trying to get these funds back to people as quickly as possible. And so I want to thank everyone for tuning in and hope that you will take advantage of missingmoney.com and CT Big List here in Connecticut to get that unclaimed property back to you.
Next, let's visit the Hoosier State. Their program wanted to share a story about a recent claim for over $500,000, where Indiana assisted an 84-year-old claimant who was thrilled to get her money. Her father purchased stocks for her when she was just 12 years old, and she thought they were lost forever. The claimant was concerned about the check being sent in the mail, so an Indiana investigator drove 2.5 hours to personally hand deliver her the check. They met at her bank and gave the check to her, and she was able to deposit the check right there on the spot. If you have a story of finding funds, please visit unclaimed.org/found and share your story. Let's head to the Hoosier State, where they're teaming up with a football legend to snap some serious cash back to its owners.
Hello, Hoosiers. Attorney General Todd Rokita here with some huge news. My office is teaming up with Colts legend and Indiana hometown hero, Jeff Saturday. We are doing a historic partnership to promote IndianaUnclaimed.gov. That's right. We're on a mission to snap over $900 million in unclaimed property back to you, its rightful owners. We've already returned over $77 million just this year and are looking to do a lot more than that. So, get in the game and claim your cash today by visiting IndianaUnclaimed.gov or text CLAIM, that's C-L-A-I-M, to 46220. Don't just hear it from me. Here's our buddy, Jeff Saturday.
Retiring from football means a lot of things for a guy like me. It means more time to pick up some hobbies, like baking, puzzles, and some gardening. It also means pinching pennies. And that's why I look for unclaimed property at IndianaUnclaimed.gov. Look, it's your money, and they want you to have it. So check IndianaUnclaimed.gov or text Jeff to 46220 and search now. You might be surprised to see your name on there.
Next, we're heading to the Pine Tree State for a live chat with Jeff Chakaukas. He is the Assistant Director of Internal Operations for Maine. We want to know how Maine is celebrating this year and what tools they're using to crack to track down owners. Jeff, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good to be here.
So, Jeff, February 1st is National Unclaimed Property Day, which falls on a weekend this year. How does Maine plan on celebrating the day?
The state of Maine, we decided to turn the day into a week. So our director, Laura Hudson, started by having the governor proclaim February 2nd to February 8th as Maine Unclaimed Property Week. And so within that week, we're planning to do a few different things. We're preparing for the week. The treasurers, we worked with the treasurer's office and the state of Maine employee relations and the union, and we started a matching project with state employees. So there will be an announcement coming soon, as we have found 836 employees with the same name and address matched to properties within our unclaimed property database. And that's out of 12,000 employees, so roughly 1 in 14 employees that we're able to match easily with an exact name and address match. This amount should total about $112,000, so we're really excited to get that back to them. A few employees are looking to receive thousands of dollars, so that should be really exciting for them. We're also planning to reach out to the remaining state employees to let them know to go ahead and claim or search for their name as well, because many people move over time, and so that's where unclaimed property really becomes lost, is because you're no longer at the address that the holder last knew you were located at. And I'm sure there's many more employees who will find that they have property to claim as well. We just didn't have the resources to verify them proactively. Also on February 2nd, the state of Maine will be conducting a telethon to help promote the unclaimed property program. So there'll be roughly 10 personnel from the Treasury staff who will be available to answer calls from the public during news broadcasts from 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. On our Portland station, WGME. This is an event that we've done many years in the past and has always been successful. Brings in thousands of claims for people to reunite with their money. The treasurer will be available and speak with the news crew. And the goal is really just to get the word out about unclaimed property. And this seems to be probably one of the biggest events for us that is successful in doing just that.
That's great. Those are really innovative efforts and should be very successful for Maine. Thank you for sharing that. Are there any additional efforts that Maine makes to help reunite owners with their property, or anything else you'd like to share with us today?
Yeah, so every year we go through a few processes and we find new processes in order to locate owners and get money back to them. The state employee match is one of the newer ones for us, but in the last 5 years, we've been working with Maine Revenue for taxes to match against their taxpayers and get money back to them. So pretty soon we'll be putting together a list and for Maine Revenue to then tell us if they have a taxpayer that's recently filed within the last year and what the address is, so we can proactively send checks out to them. This project usually initiates anywhere between 10 and 30,000 payments at one time. So we're looking forward to that happening in the next week or two. And also we prepare a list that will be going to our state legislative body, so the House representatives and the senators, as they are kind of the boots on the ground, knows their constituents, and will be able to successfully reach out to them to reconnect owners with their unclaimed property in a local level.
Well, that's great. Really great work there in Maine, Jeff. Thank you for joining us.
I'm glad to be here.
Next, we'll head to the Old Line State, where Maryland is rewriting the playbook on getting your money back. Comptroller Brooke Lehrman has led a massive modernization effort that is returning a record-breaking amount to residents. Let's tune in and see how Maryland is solving the mystery of missing money for thousands of citizens.
Hi, I'm Brooke Lehrman, the Comptroller of Maryland and administrator of our unclaimed property. Our Unclaimed Property Division has made incredible progress in modernizing how we reunite people with their money. When I took office in January 2023, filing a claim online wasn't even an option. Everything was paper-based and really inconvenient. So we got to work. We upgraded our systems, added digital tools, and trained staff to make the process faster and easier. FY 2025 was one of the most successful years for the Comptroller's Unclaimed Property Program to date. Our division paid out over 70,000 claims, a 155% increase compared to FY 24. While the dollar amount of each claim can vary significantly, the division paid out $121 million in claims, which is more than double the amount paid out in the previous year. One of my goals since my inauguration has been to modernize the Comptroller of Maryland, and that goal includes the Unclaimed Property Division. In September 2025, we launched Kelmar's Abandoned Property System. This system is in use by more than 40 other states and introduced major improvements here in Maryland, including 24/7 online self-service, mobile-friendly claims, secure document uploads, and real-time claim status updates. It even includes enhanced fraud protection and ADA compliance. These changes mean faster processing and more transparency for Marylanders. In the couple months since we've launched the new system, we've paid out about $30 million. And thanks to new legislation, we can now automatically send checks of up to $5,000 to Marylanders who don't even need to file a claim. In December, we mailed nearly 1,000 quick pay checks averaging $500 each. The Baltimore Sun recently featured these updates in an article, calling the program a win-win for the state and its residents. The piece highlighted how easy it is to file a claim online and emphasized the impact of modernization, pointing out that we returned $121 million in unclaimed funds last fiscal year alone. It's great to see Maryland leading the way and getting national attention for making government services more accessible. Visit marylandcomptroller.gov to search for your name. You might have money waiting for you.
Now we're heading to the Bay State for a live look at how Massachusetts is making sense of your missing money. We are joined by State Treasurer Deb Goldberg to tackle the biggest myths about unclaimed property and to show us exactly how easy it is to find funds. Treasurer, welcome to the Search-a-thon.
Hi there, how are you?
Doing great, thank you. Can you tell us what is a misconception most people have about unclaimed property?
What I find is that people just think they'll never forget about money. And the truth is, most people are unaware that they have funds coming to them. Unclaimed property comes in so many different ways. If you move, if you switch jobs, you're changing banks, you get a refund, but it never catches up with you. I mean, I myself get notices from places that I've overpaid and they've sent me a check, only I never got the check. So they say to me, gee, if you don't, deposit that check, we're going to have to turn it over to unclaimed property. And I actually called someone and said, you mean you're going to turn it over to me? They thought that was the funniest thing they ever heard. But the truth is, it happens to everybody, and it happens a lot.
Sure does. How do you assure the public that this is a legitimate service and not a scam?
Well, we certainly are aware of it, and our website is .gov, and it has a banner at the top verifying that it's an official website of the Commonwealth, just like any other agency in Massachusetts.
Do you have a favorite story about someone being reunited with their unclaimed property?
I do. I have to tell you, I was giving a presentation to a business group breakfast, very serious group of people. And I walked in prepared to have a very serious conversation. And a gentleman I'd never met before in my life came up and said, "You are the favorite person in my household." And I said, "I am?" And he said, My wife and I got back $29,000 of unclaimed property, and she got to use it to create a brand new kitchen. So my next question for him is, when am I being invited over for dinner?
That's great. Can you show us just how easy it is to do a search on findmassmoney.gov?
Well, I'm going to do that with my favorite friend, someone that all of you should have heard of, David Big Poppy Ortiz. So let me go in right now. David Ortiz, I know what town I'm looking for. I'm not going to say it because he might not like that. And search. Sure enough, Big Poppy right there. Great. And it only took me less than 20 seconds to search.
Well, thank you for sharing how easy it is to search for your name on massmoney.gov. And thank you so much, Treasurer, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Everybody just go out, put your name in. You never know what you're going to see.
Absolutely. Thank you. So remember to follow the Missing Money Facebook page, start your search on missingmoney.com, and share your story at unclaimed.org/found. Now it's time for me to turn the program over to Jesse to continue our cross-country search.
Hi, thank you, Megan. My name is Jesse Streeter, and I am with the Pennsylvania State Treasury. And if you're just joining us, welcome to Find My Funds Search-a-thon. And we are on a mission to solve the mystery of missing money. And we need your help to reach a massive goal. Head over to missingmoney.com right now and start your search, your free search today. We are aiming to hit a milestone of 100 million searches since our 2022 relaunch, and your name could be the next one found. If you find a match today, don't keep it a secret. Visit unclaimed.org/found and share your success story with us. And finally, make sure to stay connected by following Missing Money on Facebook. Join our community of almost 2,000 followers and get the latest updates on how to claim what is rightfully yours. So let's keep searching, and we're going to go over to Michigan and see how they are helping people find missing money.
Hello, I'm Terry Stanton, State Administrative Manager for Michigan Unclaimed Property within the Michigan Department of Treasury. Over the next few minutes, we're going to walk you through who we are and what we do here in Michigan to reunite property with its rightful owner or owner's heirs. Most claims we receive are submitted through our portal, michigan.gov/unclaimed property. Searching for and claiming property is as easy as a few clicks of a mouse thanks to our state-of-the-art website. We have easy-to-follow directions and enhanced search functions, which will tell you if you might have property with us. Filing a claim, then, is as easy as filling out a few fields and hitting submit. If verifying documentation is required, you can easily upload images directly to our secure site, which went live in October of 2018. As a result of the upgrade, we take in thousands more claims each year than we processed prior to implementation. For example, in 2017, 51,043 claims were established, with approximately 37,000 being paid and a return total of $78 million in properties. In 2025, we saw 348,051 claims established, with more than 61,000 paid and a return total of almost $164 million in properties. That's more than double what we returned to owners just 8 years earlier. Another interesting angle to the story is the annual growth in claims payments in recent years. In 5 of the last 6 fiscal years, Michigan Unclaimed Property has set a new payout record, and we're hoping 2026 will be our best year yet. As with other unclaimed property offices around the country, many of which you're learning about today, we believe we have one of the best jobs possible, returning forgotten, lost, or abandoned funds to rightful owners or their heirs. Hear from a couple of our customer service representatives now.
There was this lady that I spoke with once that she had saved some money through cashier's checks. She had went through so much in life and was trying to save this for, a tough time. So when she came upon like a tough spot, she went to try and go cash them, and they had become unclaimed. And so she called with her bank, and we were able to find them. And then we spoke several times throughout the process, and it was kind of awesome to see the impact that it really had for her in getting those and being able to resolve what was going on for her.
I spoke to a woman on the phone who didn't realize that she had the amount of money that she did have with us. And she, at the end of the call, was crying happy tears that she was now able to put a new roof on her house.
The emotions that people have with the help that we can provide, and we get lots of comments on the phone about our department just being so positive and cheery, and we have a great team, and we like to put that out there that we're there to help.
While the vast majority of claims come in through our website, Michigan Unclaimed Property staff are also involved in a number of proactive outreach events each year, where our staff meet face-to-face with potential owners and assist them with searching for properties and setting up claims. Our customers, claimants, and stakeholders seem appreciative.
I was very pleased with the knowledge and understanding that was given to me. If I hadn't gotten an email from the state of Michigan Unclaimed Property, I would have never known about this. Thank you very much for your concern and help in this matter.
My claim was addressed very quickly and professionally, and the website was easy to navigate. This was as hassle-free a process as it possibly could have been. I'm very grateful to have a check in front of me for the full amount that the state was holding in my name. Thank you.
So easy, even a 77-year-old non-tech person could do it. Thank you.
I was absolutely amazed to discover that the state of Michigan was holding unclaimed money for me, and even more thrilled when I actually received it. It truly felt like Christmas in the mail. The staffer was kind, knowledgeable, and incredibly encouraging. She made the entire process quick and easy.
Another fun promotional event we're involved in is the Michigan-Ohio Challenge, where Michigan Unclaimed Property and the Ohio Department of Commerce partner up for a friendly competition between our respective programs, revolving around college football rivalries between our two great states. While Michigan was the victor in 2023, Ohio turned the tables in 25, winning the battle of which state could generate the most searches on its website during the month of November. While planning hasn't yet started, 2026 promises to offer quite the grudge match for Michigan and Ohio. We truly appreciate your interest in Michigan Unclaimed Property and unclaimed property in general, and we hope you are enjoying this National Unclaimed Property Day Search-a-thon.
Excellent stuff from out there in Michigan. Really appreciate Terry and his team doing all that excellent work and setting record numbers. Next, we're going to go down to the Tar Heel State of North Carolina, using high-tech tools to crack the case on missing cash, from automatic cash match checks to cutting-edge technologies. So let's see what North Carolina is doing to help citizens solve the mystery of their unclaimed property.
Hi, I'm Brad Briner, the Treasurer for the state of North Carolina. Our department is in charge of many crucial financial services for our state, but no division is more popular than our NC Cash team. Who wouldn't love logging on just to see if they have some missing property owed to them? That meant returning over $100 million to its rightful owners. We've always strived to keep this process as simple as possible, but in the last year, we took steps to make it a little easier for our staff as well. Our Unclaimed Property Division participated in a 12-week pilot program with our partners at OpenAI. We looked for ways we could help our team more efficiently work through claims process. We went in knowing there were some barriers. We draw a bright red line, stopping any chance of adding personal or private information to the artificial intelligence tool, but that every little bit helps. In the end, the team found ways that this improved their day-to-day outcomes. I'm very excited to be here this morning with a big announcement, and this is obviously an internal announcement.
Basically what I asked the model, right?
So that was really fast. So this is something that could have caused me to deep dive into a lot of research down the road, right? So I'm looking at a report that was provided to me over 10 years ago, and I have a question about that report, and I don't know who to ask. So just this quick search provided me with information on which company now houses that information, so I can contact them and get the information I need. Originally, we were trying to use ChatGPT to find businesses, and you know, this is more helping me with claims processes, getting information I need so I can pay a claim when a business is reported 10 years ago and now has changed names a couple of times actually. This helps to save time because it gets me started off on the right foot where I'm providing information from the get-go that will assist in fewer questions and changes needed.
We're proud of the efforts with OpenAI, and we continue the test runs with other AI software as well. But it's not only staff tasks we're hoping to streamline. We also took steps to proactively reach out to folks who had property to claim. This meant over $20 million, getting back to rightful owners with little to no work on their part. Our unclaimed cash leader, Alan Martin, has more on this now.
Thank you, Treasurer Briner. My team had a simple philosophy in 2025. Why make things harder than they need to be? And this paid off, literally. Over 75% of all the claims paid in 2025 did not require the claimant to submit a form or supporting documents. They were just paid via NC Cash Match or e-claims. That's nearly 97,000 claims. As you can see on this slide, NC Cash Match accounted for $14.5 million. For this, we researched our database, identified qualifying claims of 5,000 or less, and sent notification letters to verify claimants. A check followed in 6 to 8 weeks. And for e-claims, over $7 million easily went out the door. Some claims generated through our website may be eligible for e-claims processing when certain criteria are met. E-claim processing attempts to electronically match the claimant information with the property owner information we have in our database. And our efforts didn't stop there. Our staff proactively identified new or additional properties owed to previous claimants and automatically issued them a payment. They identified funds owed to business entities and made them aware of it and offered their assistance in the claims process. They sent notices to tangible property owners in an attempt for them to claim it prior to it being sold as required by statute. They identified unique funds held and tried to proactively reach out to the potential owner. They worked with legislators, providing them properties owed to their constituents so they may contact them. Our staff even reviewed incoming holder reports to ensure the reported owner information complied with statute. Last year, our team worked to get property back to its rightful owner quickly and efficiently, and we hope to make it even more efficient in years to come.
Thanks, Alan. We're proud of the forward-thinking work we are doing in North Carolina, and that we are also doing it while remaining vigilant against fraud. Last year, we had almost 400 claims totaling over $1 million that were denied because of fraudulent activity. We look forward to more innovation and more success in 2026.
Okay, some really good things coming out of North Carolina. And as you can see, millions of dollars being put back into the rightful owner's hands out there in North Carolina. So next we're going to go out to Ohio and see what the Buckeye State is doing to help people find their unclaimed property. As you know, they take competition very seriously out there in Ohio. They recently just beat Michigan in a head-to-head search and challenge to see who has the most searches. And right now, there's never been a better time to search for unclaimed property. So let's head on over to Ohio and see what Ohio is doing to help you find your funds.
Apparently, the state of Ohio might owe me some money. Let's go check it out.
I'm heading over to the official website, and so far they're right. The process is simple and straightforward. It looks like I have 2 claims. I add them to my cart, select my relationship to the claim. In most cases, you'll choose owner. Then I enter my contact information and social security number. Within just a few minutes, I receive an email from the division with my claim form. This shows where the money is from and how much I'm owed. It looks like my first claim is for $8, and my second one is $15. Sweet! That's $23 I didn't have before. I also see that claims can be filed for up to 10 years. The form then outlines the next steps, which include uploading documents to verify my identity and address. The form lists the required documents. I choose to upload my driver's license and social security card. Helpful tip, label your files before uploading, since you'll be asked to identify each document during the upload process. It's been a few weeks, so I checked the status of my claim. I haven't received any notifications about issues with my documents, so it appears my claim is being processed. And now, the next step is to watch the mail for my check.
Excellent. So Ohio is demonstrating a great way of how easy this process really is and how safe it really is. So thank you, Ohio, for that. Next, we're just going to go into to show you what NAS is doing, or I'm sorry, what NAPA is doing to help search for unclaimed funds. So welcome back to the Search-a-thon. You've heard success stories all around, and now it's your turn to ensure you're searching safely and effectively. We put together this national guide to missingmoney.com. This is the only database endorsed by state treasurers across the country. It's 100% free to use, and here is exactly how you can start your search right now.
Right now, billions of dollars in unclaimed property are sitting in state programs trying to be reunited with their rightful owners. Today, we're taking a deep dive into missingmoney.com, the only official website of the National Associations of State Treasurers and Unclaimed Property Administrators. Because this site searches multiple state databases at once, it is your fastest and most secure path to finding what you're owed. Best of all, it is 100% free. If a third-party service asks you for a fee to find your money, be careful. It's often unnecessary and could even be a scam. It all starts with a search. Let's use a common name like William Smith to see how much property is out there. You'll receive a nationwide list of results. At the top, you can filter by state or by specific city like Baltimore or Landover. To uncover every dollar, you have to think like a detective. Here are some search tips. Search every state where you have lived, worked, or done business. Check previous names, including maiden names or former legal names. Try variations of your first name, like Bill for William or Liz for Elizabeth. Check for misspellings. Sometimes records are filed and received by states with a simple typo, so you should try common misspellings of your name as well. Our advanced search algorithm tries to find and include all of these in search results, but it can pay to dig a little deeper. One final secret to a successful search: don't just search once. States receive new property every single year, so we recommend checking back every 6 months. You can search for friends, coworkers, or family members and let them know. Only the owner of the property should submit a claim, though. One of the most important things you can do is search for deceased relatives. You may be the rightful legal heir to their unclaimed property, and missingmoney.com helps you start that recovery process. Are you a business owner? You're covered too. Just use the business name field. Search for every version of your company name, including common abbreviations like Inc., Co., or LLC. Any doing business as or DBA names you've used in the past, and previous names of the business before a merger or name change. Once you find a match, the claiming process is straightforward. You'll initiate the claim directly through the site or be linked to the official state website. You'll just need to provide your relationship to the property, whether you're the owner or an heir, and your contact info. The state will then reach out, usually via email, to request a few standard documents, like a photo ID or proof of address to verify your identity. In some cases, more complex documentation may be required to prove ownership. Rest assured, Missing Money uses high-level encryption to keep your data safe during submission. Before you go, check out the About and States menu for interactive maps and links to specialty programs like IRS and HUD refunds. Billions are waiting to be claimed. Why let it sit in a vault? Head over to missingmoney.com right now and see what the states are holding for you. It only takes a minute, and the results might surprise you.
So now that you've seen how easy it is to search on missingmoney.com and see what the states are holding for you, let's head on over to my home state, the Keystone State of Pennsylvania, and we're going to take a tour of the Unclaimed Property Vault. While Pennsylvania is safeguarding almost $5 billion in unclaimed property, we're not just returning funds, we're also returning tangible items, which we're going to see in today's vault tour. So we're going to head on over there and take a good look at Pennsylvania's vault.
Hi, I'm Pennsylvania State Treasurer Stacey Garrity, and I am so honored to join you all for Unclaimed Property Day's National Searchathon. Today, I'm going to take you to one of the coolest places in our Commonwealth, Treasury's Vault. This vault, which was built in 1939, is the largest working vault in the nation. So come on in. We know there is 400 tons of steel, and this front door alone that I'm opening is over 60 tons, if you can believe that. And then when we go inside the vault, you're going to see we have 6 cages, and each cage has 145 drawers where we hold all of our tangible items. So we have more than $5 billion, yes, that's billion with a B, of unclaimed property. 1 out of 10 Pennsylvanians has unclaimed property. The average claim is about $1,000. So I guarantee that you or your friends or your family members have unclaimed property. Now, our tangible items, they come mostly from abandoned safe deposit boxes, but also from police evidence lockers, sometimes from nursing homes and college dorms. And they hold military decorations, which, no surprise to all of you, is my favorite thing that we hold in the vault, and also a lot of jewelry, collectibles, you name it, we have it. So far, since taking office, we've given back 585 military decorations, including 13 Purple Hearts, 3 Bronze Stars, and a Gold Star medal. So you can see the balance of our Purple Hearts are here, so we still have 8 to give back. Here is a Bronze Star, there's a Meritorious Service Medal, there are World War I dog tags, there are so many interesting and cool things here. And we do a lot of in-person returns. So our last Purple Heart return was actually in August on Purple Heart Day, and it was to the family of the late Ray Morgan, who was a private first class in the Army, served in the Vietnam War. He was wounded and received his Purple Heart while he was recovering at Valley Forge Hospital. So we traced down his son, and this actually came to us from an abandoned safe deposit box with no known owner. Ray's name was engraved on the back of the Purple Heart. We traced down his son, Jim, who actually worked at Fort Indiantown Gap. So we went to Fort Indiantown Gap, we did an in-person return, and it was so incredibly emotional to return the Purple Heart to Jim Morgan. One of my favorite returns was to the family of Private First Class Joey Morrison, and we did this in Schuylkill County. Private First Class Joey Morrison, he joined World War I and was killed in action 10 days before the end of the war, so 10 days before Armistice Day. So he was a member of the 554th Ambulance Corps, and his commander said that there was no mission that he didn't take fearlessly, and he would go day or night evacuating his wounded brothers from the battlefield. His mom, Agnes, who I have to say, Joey was the eldest of 4 sons, was awarded this Gold Star medal. And so she traveled to France, and you can see her with this picture that she's standing at his graveside. But he also wrote a letter to his parents. And he said, Father, and I'm going to paraphrase here, but he said that he felt it was his solemn duty to join the military and try and put an end to this horrible war. And he said, in the end, he knew that it probably wouldn't be appreciated, but he said, if not me, then who and why should I be the slacker? So he is a true hero. Let's take a quick stop here because we get some really interesting items that families have saved in their safe deposit boxes. So here we have stock certificates from the early 1900s. We have, this is one of my favorites, a 2,000-pound sugar ration check, and we have some letters from Lyndon Johnson and Albert Einstein. We have a brand new program, Pennsylvania Money Match. And what this program allows us to do is to proactively return unclaimed property up to $500 to a single owner without the individual making a claim. And so can you imagine, you just get a check in the mail from Treasury, because most people don't even know they have unclaimed property. So for the first year, we returned over $50 million to Pennsylvanians. So let's go into this cage and see some of the more interesting tangible items that we're holding at Treasury. So we have some newer items, which I think are really interesting, and these actually came from police evidence lockers. So we have guitars from, I'm holding one from Red Hot Chili Peppers, and then to my left, we have Guns N' Roses and Rolling Stones. So here we have 3 Penn State bowl rings, which I think are super cool. So here's an orange bowl and a coach's ring. And we know these are from an owner in Center County, and I believe they're gonna come get these rings soon. We have a bee, and that came from a police evidence locker. It's huge, 3 inches by 3.5 inches, with diamond crusted. So I do not think we will find the owner of this bee. And then we have a lot of other interesting items. We have some William McKinley bills, a Grover Cleveland $1,000 bill, and we have a lot of jewelry over here. So a lot of bling, a lot of diamonds. We have some old opera glasses, and we have some old stick pins. So some really interesting things. Now, although we have the largest working vault in the nation, sometimes we run out of space. So we do have 2 auctions a year, and they're online. So you can always check them out, and they are in the spring and the fall. And the last one that we finished in the fall, we made over $400,000 with that particular auction. I want to thank you for joining this session today, and the team at NAPA for inviting me. I invite you to check if you have any unclaimed property by visiting the national search engine, missingmoney.com.
Great stuff. A rare look into the Pennsylvania vault. As you saw, there's just a large amount of historical items that are incredibly interesting, and the returning of those Purple Hearts is something I know is a very, very special moment for Treasurer Garrity and a high priority as well. The record-breaking money and millions of dollars that we return every year is excellent stuff, but returning those Purple Hearts is super special. So with that, why don't we head on down to South Carolina, where they've turned the treasure hunt into a statewide mission with nearly $1 billion in unclaimed property currently waiting in the vault. Soon, Carolina Treasurer Curtis Loftus is on a crusade to reunite residents with their forgotten funds. Let's see how they're solving the mystery for thousands of neighbors.
I'm State Treasurer Curtis Loftus. We have millions of dollars in unclaimed property, and some of it could be yours.
Check out Nancy's story from right here in Columbia.
My mom and dad, when they came back off their honeymoon, they had $1 in their pocket. They had no money. They started from scratch. They both came from very humble beginnings. What he had, he dedicated to us and to making sure we had a better life. He was an electronics technician. He's the one that keeps the radar working so the pilots don't crash. And one of the things I did was go through his lockbox to see what was in there. I always felt like he was wise enough in his planning that anything in there required attention. This was the box, and they were just in here with all of his other papers.
When Nancy started investigating, she made a big discovery, and the sisters are now at peace because their dad would be thrilled to know that his money reached them.
My sister and I each received a check. I just knew that my father would have been so thrilled that we found it, and that it was like a gift from him, unexpected.
1 in 7 people in South Carolina have unclaimed funds. Thanks to our efforts, we've been very successful in securing and returning millions of dollars back to the citizens of our state. We're doing important work, and I'm proud of all the lives this program has touched.
Thank you to the State Treasurer's Office for hanging on to the money all these years and being good stewards, and for making it very easy for me to reclaim it. Put it on your calendar once a year, search. Go in and search, because why not?
Nancy and her sister benefited from this program, and so can you. Check out our website today to see if unclaimed property is waiting for you. It only takes a minute to claim what's yours. I'm State Treasurer Curtis Loftus with a touching story about how unclaimed property can change your life. We have millions of dollars in unclaimed property, and some of it could be yours. Watch Wayne's story from Inman, South Carolina.
I'm blessed to be able to play approximately 20 assisted living and memory care areas around the upstate area each month. So that's keeping me a little busy there.
Wayne spends his retirement performing across our state, making days brighter for so many. Wayne's story is super emotional. He feels his late mother sending him love decades after her passing.
My parents divorced when I was a young child, so I don't even remember my father. And so I was raised by a single parent, my mother, and I realized that apparently there was maybe a life insurance policy that I didn't know anything about. Saw this notice by the treasurer's office, and I responded to it, and they confirmed that there was some money available there, so I went through the process of getting that. My mother was showing her love and giving to me even when she was no longer physically here. She was, in a way, still with me, still giving. She was saying, I'm still here. I still love you.
I've traveled all across our state, and I've had the honor of meeting people from all walks of life. And no matter who they all are grateful for the efforts that we've made to give them their money back.
This provides me, even at this point in my life, and hopefully publicly, express my gratitude and appreciation for your leadership, for your concern for the citizens of our great state.
Wayne is an amazing guy with a great story. Check out our website today to see if you have unclaimed property waiting for you. It only takes a minute to claim what's yours.
All right, South Carolina also doing some wonderful things down there, and what a wonderful story to hear. And anybody out there doing unclaimed property stuff probably has a lot of very special stories of their own. But while we're here, we're going to head on over to Virginia and check in, and we're going to do a live segment here with Brad. So Brad is going to join us and tell us a lot about what's happening down in Virginia in the unclaimed property. Virginia is currently safeguarding millions in forgotten funds, and Bradley here is to help us crack the case for residents from Arlington all the way to Virginia Beach. Bradley, welcome to the Search-a-thon. What's the latest on the treasure hunt in the Old Dominion?
Yeah, thanks, Jesse, and happy Unclaimed Property Day to everyone, and greetings from the best Commonwealth in all the land. All due respect to all the other Commonwealths, of course. Yeah, so I've been here a little over 5 years now, and I have the absolute privilege of working with 40 of the best people that you could possibly imagine, tirelessly working to get the money in and get the money out to folks here throughout the Commonwealth. And we have broken records each and every year I have been here. But last year was particularly an outlier. We shattered money reunited back to people by over 30 million, getting 118 million out, and processed over 90,000 claims. In addition to that, like many other states throughout the country, we initiated a VA Cash Now program, which allows us to go ahead and send checks out to individuals who are verified, single owners, less than $5,000 properties, and send them a check without having to actually come to our website and file a claim. So we'll see those numbers impacted this next fiscal year for sure, because we're already on pace to break the records that we broke last year. In addition to that, our PR marketing team has done some really good work around the Commonwealth. To get the word out, we have installed 5 easy-to-use kiosks in high-traffic public libraries throughout the Commonwealth. And in addition to that, we hired 2 new marketing people to really focus on going through our system and finding properties to reunite back to nonprofits, places of worship, localities, and other governmental institutions. So we're really excited about that. We've heard some great feedback from people throughout the Commonwealth there. And I think that's really the highlights that I have. I'm also pleased to say that we had especially at the beginning of last calendar year, we had over 20,000 claims waiting to be worked, and we have dwindled that down tirelessly to about less than 3,000 claims to work, and our processing time has come down significantly, well below 30 days. So we're doing everything we can to make sure, well, obviously, we get the money back to the right person, but in a timely manner.
Wow, that's excellent stuff, Brad. So you're processing a lot of claims. So how does your team verify that you're paying the right person, and how do you identify potential fraudulent attempts?
Yeah, so obviously that's very important. That goes to the core of our program and the integrity of our program. We always want to make sure we maintain that. So, the property that's reported in, hopefully the companies or the holders, as we call them, are providing us really accurate information on the individual, a name, hopefully a social and an address, and then that individual would come claim that or attempt to claim it. And, if it matches, we have a fast track process where they wouldn't have to submit any documentation. But if a manual process is needed, we use LexisNexis in the background, as a lot of people are familiar, other agencies are familiar with utilizing. And
yes,
hopeful, so long as everything matches up and we're confident that is the right individual, we'll pay that out. If not, we'll ask for more information or might have to deny that, unfortunately.
Yeah, excellent. I mean, that leads me to my next one, because over here in Pennsylvania, we face a very similar situation where heirs to a claim require a lot more documentation and check boxes, which often take longer to process than a regular claim. So, why so many check boxes for these types of claims?
Well, first and foremost, everyone, make sure you get a will done and tell your family where you want your property to go, because that is one of the biggest hurdles we run into with heir claims. People unfortunately pass and have not completed the paperwork of what they want done with their property once they have passed. So if that's not in place, then obviously we have to do a little, we have to get creative in paying out those claims. Look at obituaries and death certificates, things like that, to make sure we're paying the right people owed in that family out their portion if we can. One of the things we really strive to do here is not say no, but work our way to yes. And unfortunately, with heir claims, that can take a little bit more time, but we always try to get there and make sure we make people happy and get them what they're owed.
Excellent. Like I said, I often face a similar situation quite often, and those heir claims, those death benefit certificates, are often some of the larger ones out there too. So they're very important that we do get them right and get them to the right people. So,
Yep.
Brad, thank you for your time, and I appreciate everything you guys are doing down in Virginia as the second best Commonwealth in the country.
Well, you definitely have the best vault in the country. I'll give you that.
We do have a nice bowl, don't we? So,
All right. Thanks,
Brad,
Jesse.
thank you so much. Yep. Okay, so that does it for my time here on the telethon, the Find My Funds thon, and I wish everybody a lot of luck out there. I personally have worked on a lot of claims over the last few years. Each year here in Pennsylvania, we continue to set records, and this year has been no different, sending out almost $341 million out there. We continue to raise that bar. We're giving out, personally, I've been a part of finding funds for nonprofits, individuals that need it most, school districts, especially, just thousands and thousands of dollars, including some school districts in the $200,000 range, the $50,000 range, and just some very special moments out there at a personal level. So, wishing everybody a lot of luck. Please head on over to missingmoney.com. Do a search for you, your friends. Be the bearer of good news. If you don't find anything for yourself, like I said, search for friends and family and be the bearer of good news. And then don't keep it to yourself. Provide a testimony, upload it to the site, and best of luck to everybody. Thank you. Turning it over to NAS CEO Sean Snyder.
All right. Thanks, Jesse. I am Sean Snyder. I'm the CEO of the National Association of State Treasurers, and I'm thrilled to be here with you today. What more fun can you have than giving money back to people? If you're just joining us, welcome to the Find My Funds Search-a-thon. Our goal today is to help you better understand what missing money is and how to search for yours. We need your help to reach a big goal. Head over to missingmoney.com right now to start your free search. We're aiming to hit a milestone of 100 million searches since our 2022 relaunch, and your name could be the next one found. If you find a match today, share it with us. Visit unclaimed.org/found and share your success story with us. Finally, make sure to stay connected by following the Missing Money Facebook page. Join our community of over 1,900 followers to get the latest updates on how to claim what is rightfully yours. Let's keep searching. You've heard the staggering numbers and the incredible success stories, but now it's your turn to get in the game. To ensure you're not leaving a single dollar behind, we've condensed decades of expertise into 5 essential strategies. This is your master class in searching like a pro. Whether you're a first timer or a seasoned searcher, these 5 tips from missingmoney.com are the key to unlocking what's yours. And then we'll show you a quick video on how to prevent your money from becoming lost. Let's take a look. All right. Next, we're heading to the Green Mountain State, where they've been shattering records and getting creative to return cash. We're joined live by Vermont State Treasurer Mike Pieciak. Vermont has seen consecutive record-breaking years for returning unclaimed property, partly thanks to some of the most unique and eye-catching TV ads in the country. Treasurer Pieciak, welcome to the show.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, Sean. Thanks for having me.
Your office has posted consecutive record-breaking years for unclaimed property, both in dollars returned and claims processed. What do you think has driven Vermont's success, and how has your office achieved these milestones?
Yeah, well, it's a great question, Sean. I think just from a starting point, like, why do we care about this so much? Why do we want to see those numbers go up? This is money back in Vermonters' pockets at a time when affordability is the #1 issue we hear about across the state. People are having a hard time buying groceries, fueling their car, paying their rent, paying their mortgage. So even if it's a few $100s, or in some cases thousands of dollars back in somebody's pocket, it's really, really meaningful at this moment in time. So we've done everything that we can to try to drive awareness about missingmoney.com, about the unclaimed property program here in Vermont. It's meant that we've been looking for partnerships, ways that we can partner with different organizations or other different statewide leaders to get the word out through earned media. We've done tours across the state locally to try to drive awareness locally through local media. We've had these television ads, which I think are definitely memorable, and they make people sort of pay attention and then say, what is this unclaimed property? I want to look into it a little bit more. So it's really that combination of trying to find these partnerships, trying to get the earned media, and then also trying to have creative, memorable paid media also to drive awareness about the program.
All right, well, that's great to hear about those partnerships. So why don't we jump to that item you just talked about? Your office has stood out for using creative TV ads to raise awareness about unclaimed property. Let's take a look at 2 of those now.
Hey everybody, Tom Messner here with a forecast that is sure to brighten your day. Vermonters have more than $120 million waiting to be claimed. It's called unclaimed property. And look what's in Windham County and Chittenden County. Wow!
It's true, Tom. Any Vermonter can search missingmoney.vermont.gov and find out instantly if they have an uncashed check, unknown refund, and more. Now back to you in the studio.
Hey, that was supposed to be my line.
That wasn't in the forecast.
It's called unclaimed property. And look what's in Windham County and Chittenden County.
Now what?
Wow. State Treasurer Mike Pieciak?
That's right, Tom. Vermonters are working harder than ever to make every dollar count. And my office has over $150 million in unclaimed property. Any Vermonter can go to missingmoney.com to see if they have unclaimed property waiting for them.
Sir, we can't cash that.
That was great. So great ads. Why do you think using ads like that approach has been so effective?
Yeah, well, one of the first things for those that, aren't from Vermont, they won't recognize who was in the ad, but the person that was in the ad was a longtime meteorologist in one of our popular news channels, Tom Messner. And he had been a meteorologist for, I don't know, decades and decades. And he also was a very big personality sort of outside of being a meteorologist. He was always at community events. People had him as the MC at different things. So he retired a couple of years ago. And I felt like, oh, you know what? Like, who can we get that's like one of the most recognizable, but more importantly, one of the most trusted voices in our state? And that was the key, was to get somebody like that partnering with us, because people know him, they trust him. When they hear about unclaimed property from him, they say, oh, this is something that's real. It's not a scam or a fraud, which is oftentimes something we have to try to get over nowadays, because people are educated, and rightfully so, are on the lookout for things that sound too good to be true. But we try to make the case that this is in fact one of those things that is the government here to help you, right? That we're from the government, we're here to help and get your money back. So I think that was the key thing, was to have somebody that was a trusted voice. But then the other thing is just, something that's a little bit different, eye-catching, funny. My mom on that first ad said, when we run these ads, they play, quite regularly. And my mom would be like, oh, your ad was on again today. And, even though I've seen it a million times, I still enjoy watching it. And I always laugh at the end. So, it's just something that I think is memorable from that sense. It's sort of lighthearted and memorable because of sort of the short, funny nature of it.
All good points, and I commend you on doing something so eye-catching to help get the word out. So looking ahead, what more can Vermonters expect from your office when it comes to returning unclaimed property?
Well, one of the things that we always like doing is looking across the country and seeing, well, who is doing this well, like whether it's unclaimed property or other areas of our office. And one of the things that I really appreciated about a number of different treasurers, including Mike Frericks in Illinois and Eric Russell in Connecticut, they had these programs that were automatically returning money to their residents. And I thought that was a really great program, because that's one of the challenges we have, is just drawing awareness. And, if we know it's somebody's money and we can send them a check directly, like, why don't we try doing that? And we did that a couple of years ago through a pilot program with our tax department, matching up data, verifying the data, sending a letter saying you'll get a check in the mail, and then following it up, with that check. And now we've run that program for 2 years. And I think it's just something that's really proactive. So it's good from that standpoint. It's something that, when we're verifying the information, we're not as worried about, that it's a fraud or a scam against our office, somebody trying to get money that doesn't belong to them. We know with great certainty whose money it is. And again, it's just one of these things where I think residents really appreciate hearing from the government when they're returning their money to them. It's one of these good interactions that they have, and builds some level of, trust and relationship there with their state government. So I think for a whole bunch of reasons, that was something that, we wanted to implement here and be able to expand over time. And then, of course, we'll just continue to find organizations and other local leaders and statewide leaders that we can partner with to try to draw awareness to the program. One of my favorite stories about unclaimed property that happened in the last couple of years, I was going to a town meeting down in Putney. It's a town in southern Vermont. And we had the printout of all of the unclaimed property that was in Putney. And it's, it's this big, thick, thing. And I was at home in Brattleboro, where my parents live, the night before. And I was going through the list, and I saw somebody that had $38,000. And I said, wow, that really jumped out at me. And I said, hey, Dad, look at this person has $38,000. I told him the name. I go, do you know this person? He said, yeah, I've been doing his taxes for 40 years, So I said, oh, wow. I said, well, when you get to the office tomorrow, can you verify this is his address and this is his information? And he said, yeah, for sure. And he called me and he said, yeah, that's him. This is his phone number. So I gave him a call, and it was his daughter that answered the phone. And I said, I'm Mike Pichak. I'm in Putney today, going to the town meeting. I noticed your dad is on our unclaimed property list, and he has $38,000, So after a while, it took them a little while to believe that it was a true phone call and that the treasurer was actually calling them and letting them know about this money. But once they got over that and we got the money back to them and, and the check and everything, I got a note from the father and he appreciated that we were able to send it to him. And it was right before Easter and he said they were all together and made Easter great and everything. But then we got a letter from his daughter who said, this was a life insurance proceeds that they would never have known about. They would never have looked for it. They had no idea it was there. And the fact that they got it back meant that their 98-year-old dad was able to live in his house for another year. So it was enormously impactful for that family, for that person to be able to get that money back. And it's just an example of why this is so important that we do this work and get money back to the rightful owner, because it's always, always more valuable in their pocket than it is in our bank account.
That's an amazing story. And thank you so much for the work you and your team do. Common sense solutions from state treasurers. That's something I hear in my role every day. And I'm just so appreciative of your leadership on this. So thank you for joining us today. Thank you for the work. Keep it up. We hope to see you back for our next telethon, Treasurer.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, Sean. And I just want to give a shout out to our unclaimed property team as well, Al LaPearl and the whole team, because they're the ones that are doing all the hard work and keeping up with all these claims. And I really appreciate their efforts.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right. Well, next we're heading to the Mountain State where they've been returning property through the big payback. West Virginia State Treasurer Larry Pack and his team have been breaking records, returning millions of dollars to hardworking West Virginians. Let's see how West Virginia is clearing the books and putting cash back in pockets.
Hello, I'm Larry Pack, your state treasurer. One of the great pleasures of my office and my job is to be able to give unclaimed property back to the citizens of West Virginia. And that's money that's came into financial institutions, came into insurance companies and just various businesses. And they can't figure out who owns it, whose property it is. So they send it to us and we work really, really hard getting it back to the rightful owners. One of the ways we've done it in the last 4 years is we have an automatic way of doing things for certain people who meet certain criteria. So we go through that and we're able to get that back to you and send checks out to you directly through our Cash Now program. We did that for we sent out about 16,000 checks over the last 4 years. We'll be doing that again fairly soon. We also just want to show you some examples of some of the people that's been able to take advantage of this program.
My name is Brent Sears. I'm born and bred and raised in Charleston, West Virginia. Did receive a check in the mail last year from the West Virginia State Treasurer's Office. The letter was marked Cash Now that I got in the mail. It was a large, easy to read letter in a large envelope. It was about 3 to 4 weeks between the time that I got the letter and the time that the check showed up at the house. I was very pleasantly surprised that I had unclaimed property. My brother-in-law told me a couple of years ago that he thought my name was on the list. And then the letter came last year in 2022, and boy, it was real. It made me feel really good to know that the state treasurer was tracking things like that. People that have overpaid or however the money came to be. It was good that they were reaching out to people and trying to return that unspent money to them.
My name is Megan Egner and I live in Clinton in West Virginia. I went and got the mail as I always do after I got home from work, and there was a letter from the state. I was like, oh no, we're gonna have to pay some taxes. Then when I opened it, it said that I had unclaimed property. And I couldn't figure out where that would be from. I finally got another letter with a check in it from Darden, which is Olive Garden that I waited tables at for 10 years. And because the paychecks that we get there are so low when you're a server, I just never picked them up from the office. I didn't think it was worth it. I think it turned into like $330. It was clearly stated in the letter that it had to be cashed within 6 months. I think it took about 6 minutes for me to put it in my bank account. It is wonderful to have unplanned money whenever you're saving for anything, especially a wedding. When we got the check, he got the idea, well, let's do fireworks with our first dance. I proposed under fireworks. Fireworks are your favorite thing. We can incorporate that into the wedding. And that's where I believe all of that money went to. It was just so easy.
Well, thanks so much for that and great work to the folks in West Virginia and State Treasurer Larry Pack. We're going to head a little bit south. Next, we're heading to the natural state for a live look at how Arkansas is reconnecting citizens with their missing money. We're joined by Curtis Irvin from the Arkansas State Auditor's Office to discuss their incredible outreach programs. Arkansas has been a leader in finding creative ways to educate businesses and reunite residents with their forgotten funds. Curtis, welcome to the Search-a-thon.
Thank you guys for having us. I just want to thank God for this opportunity, and we appreciate you guys, and happy Unclaimed Property Day nationally. So we appreciate what you guys giving us this platform to talk about Arkansas unclaimed property. First, I want to say Auditor Milligan, he has been spearheaded in wanting to get us to pay the most we can, and he wants to be the #1 auditor in Arkansas to pay the most money back. And so we are so excited about that plan, and we just want to talk about that today. And we're excited about what he's doing and where we came from and where we're going now. So the first thing I want to mention, my name is Curtis Irvin. I'm one of the unclaimed property managers, and so I've been here for over 3 or 4 administrations. But Auditor Milligan, he's been just extremely streamlining what we're going to do as far as what we're trying to do is to give away as much money as we can in our state. So I've been here since 2003. Basically, our auditor, our mission is to give back the most we can, and we've been doing it basically since day one. We've been doing it through different avenues that we have, and I'll touch bases on that. Let's see. So first thing I can touch bases on. So basically, we've returned first year about $13 million. The first 6 months he came in, we returned about $13 million. And then from there, 2024, we went to get about $34 million. And the following year, we went to about $35 million for the fiscal year 2025. And within less than 4 years, we've returned over $100 million. And so that feat right there is one of the most important things that we have really been striving for. And what he's brought into this administration is letting us be more outreach, unclaimed property division, and ways that we're doing it. I'll touch bases on that. The first thing we did, the initiative, was to basically to find ways on how we're going to give back this money. Since 2003, he's been instrumental in going to different counties, doing different type of specials and different things that to help each individual to be able to claim unclaimed property. We've had success in different cities or different counties that we have been trying to give money back. So first thing we've done, the engagement, being able to touch bases with each county, having kiosks. The kiosks that we have set up, is people that actually can come and actually see if they have unclaimed property. In-person visits, like I say, and also placements of our kiosks, and also outreach from our claim agents. So in-house, our claim agents are reaching out to these claimants individually. So we get different lists, and we try to reach out to any individual that probably don't have access to call us, or they may be not on social media, or they may be not on the newspaper. We can actually try to get phone numbers and see if we can contact these individuals to see if we can grab their money and give them a call and see if we can try to get them their money back as fast as we can. Also, next, we also have done direct mail letters. So basically, the make letters, there's going to be a letter that we mailed out, which was about 2 years ago. We started this. We did direct letters where we sent them out, and pretty much it notified the people that you had unclaimed property. So they had to actually call us back, and they had to fill out a claim form. And from there, we would then be able to send that information out to them, so that way they can be able to get their money. Also with our advertising campaign. So of course we advertise on social media. We do our newspapers as well, and also any type of news outlets we also advertise as well. And the biggest one in 2025, we enacted our data match initiative, which allowed us to send out direct checks under $1,000 to our to any type of claimant that was needing money. And this right here was a game changer. With those numbers, I can give you those numbers. Basically, alone, we pretty much knocked it out the water in 2025. So these are kind of the numbers on the screen where you see that from 2023 all the way to 2025, we pretty much we're doing what we should do. So basically the first year, like I said, when he first came in 2023, we did about 13 million. Then fiscal year, we bumped it up to 34 million. And then 2025, we did 34 million, but that's not even counting our data match, which did about 16 million. And so those numbers wouldn't exist if we didn't have the different programs and different outreach and the different drive that Auditor Milligan has instilled into our team. From our claim agents to our manager, Josh Wood, all the way down, even our outreach team and our holders team, holder Miss Melanie and Miss Nita, and also our outreach, we have Jordan and also Thomas, who are knocking it out. We have our unclaimed property team, led by all of us. We combine together to see if what we can do to get as much money as we can, and within less than 4 years, we've made it to $100 million. But that's something that somebody has to instill into us to be able to make those numbers. But the ultimate thing is the heart of being able to get the unclaimed property back to the claimant, and money that they didn't know about that has really, really changed their life in many ways. We've had different type of instances, like $1 million we gave away a couple years ago, and that's something I didn't put on my notes, but I just wanted to give our state, we've been tracking down a woman that was living in Hot Springs, and we finally got a chance to give her back her money. It was over $1 million, and that was heartwarming because she was able to come in and we were able to meet with her. And we've had so many other stories that really touched us to know that we are doing what we need to do to make sure we get the money back to people. And those numbers alone right there just show that we are trying to do the best we can to meet Auditor Milligan's his game plan, and we're just excited about where we're going and where we came from, and that right there alone is just really special to us. And if you ever want to claim any money in Arkansas, our website is claimitar.gov, and also you do have the national website, which is missingmoney.com. And so we're really excited about the years to come and what we're doing right now in 2026. We're excited about it. We have a lot of things in place that is going to allow us to be successful. And like I said, overall, like, we have the administration who is ready to push us and ready to take us to another level. And as you've seen with the numbers, we're really excited about that, and we're putting a lot of smiles on people's face, and that's the most important thing. So we really appreciate what Auditor Milligan is doing, and also what our team is doing, going all the way down from Auditor Milligan to our claim agents and our outreach team, and everybody all working together to make everything, this engine work the way it's supposed to work. So we do appreciate that, but that's basically what we're doing in Arkansas. We're trying to set the tone, and we're trying to be able to give back as much as we can and be the number one to help our auditor to become that number one to give back, and we're on the right track in doing that.
All right, well, Thank you very much, Curtis. We appreciate your work and that of Auditor Milligan. We're going to move a little bit west. Everything is bigger in Texas, as they say, and that includes the amount of unclaimed property waiting to be returned. With billions of dollars in forgotten funds currently sitting in the state treasury, the Lone Star State is on a mission to put that money back into the hands of its rightful owners. From uncashed paychecks to forgotten deposits, Texas is proving that no claim is too big or too small. Let's take a look at how they're helping Texans strike gold.
Did you know that Texas has more than 10 billion unclaimed property? And to celebrate National Unclaimed Property Day, we're going to be checking some very interesting items from our state box. So this is gold, right? Why is it so heavy?
Well, pure gold is actually really heavy and dense, 0.99%. And that's actually 2,000 grams of gold, and it's valued about $275,000.
Wow, I didn't know this was so heavy. So we have a very interesting shotgun right here.
Yeah, it's actually called a blunderbuss. Before the black powder gun, this is what they used on stagecoaches, on pirate ships or boats. The close combat firearm that if they ran out of ammo, they would put glass, rocks, metal, charge it with black powder, and then they would shoot it off for close combat. The cool thing about this was it was actually displayed at the Alamo.
What about this ring right here?
That's a 5-carat Euro cut diamond, and that diamond is valued about $30,000. It's a European cut, and it just means an older cut.
And this one right here?
That's a natural yellow canary diamond. It's actually not radiated because most yellow diamonds are, and it's set in 14 karat gold. It's valued about $16,000.
Wow. We have a beautiful watch right here. What's the story behind this?
It's a 14 karat yellow gold American Foundation for the Blind watch that was presented to a gentleman that used to panhandle in front of Tiffany's, and a cab came and actually ran the curb and ran him over, and I'm guessing he got that watch after that happened. But it's really cool because he was blind. It actually has a dial where the front opens up and you're able to tell what time it is based on where the hour and the minute hand are.
I see a picture there of Elvis, right?
Yeah, Elvis, that's a picture of Elvis at the Shreveport, Louisiana hayride, and that was about 1950s. That was before the Grand Ole Opry, or around the same time, but that kind of launched his career going to that hayride.
That's amazing. And then I see some very old letters here.
Yeah, those are nice. It's a ransom letter from 1931 from one of the founders of the Gladewater banking in Gladewater, Texas. There's multiple pages, and what they do is they're breaking down specific times and things he needs to do when he's gonna drop the money off, and he doesn't comply with that money. They were gonna raise the ransom from $1,000 to $5,000, which is $100,000 today's time.
And then those shiny boots?
Those are from a famous boxer named Tito Trinidad. It's been autographed by him, and on the bottom has a date, and that date he actually had a championship bout, and he knocked the guy out in round 2, and he didn't lose his title.
Wow. And then we have a baseball card right here.
Oh, that's an iconic card. That's Nolan Ryan. I think everybody knows who Nolan Ryan is. He's one of the most famous pitchers. That's his actual rookie card from 1968.
1968, wow. If you want to keep checking some of those items, we have a GovDeals website on the screen right now. You can also go to claimittexas.gov where you can search for your name and see if you have some money waiting for you. Thanks for watching.
So you can see unclaimed property isn't always just money. Next up, we're heading to the Sunflower State where treasure hunt is blooming. Kansas is currently safeguarding millions in unclaimed property, just waiting for its rightful owners. State Treasurer Stephen Johnson and his team are breaking records. Let's see how Kansas is helping its neighbors strike gold at kansascash.ks.gov.
George Brett here with a major league tip for you. I'm with Treasurer Stephen Johnson, and he recently helped me find something missing.
That's right. Very few have George's batting average, but 1 in 7 Kansans have missing money that the state owes them.
It's easy to check, and while a 300 batting average is great, how does 630 sound? That's the average amount paid out by the state.
Take a swing by checking your name at missingmoney.ks.gov. Well, thanks for the chance just to be here.
No, wonderful having you. It really is.
And what was your reaction when you learned you had unclaimed property?
Well, my son told me that, Dad, I think you got some unclaimed property in the state of Kansas. I'm going, what are you talking about? I never heard anything like that before. And then he told me what it was. I think he had his hands open. You know, the average is $630, and mine was considerably more than that. And I still don't know if it was overpaying your taxes. I don't know where the money came from, but I'm glad the state let me know that they had something that belonged to me. And not only was I thankful for that, but I'm thankful that you were willing to give it to me. rather than just tell me, now I got it. So
Well, that's our job.
It was a good day.
Yeah,
it was a really good day.
Good. Were you surprised that you had other family members that had it as well? I think Jackson had some, and maybe even a smaller amount.
If he did, he didn't share
He
it
didn't
with
share
me.
that?
He didn't
Okay.
share it, but he wanted me to share what the state had of mine with him. And I
So
said,
the one-way
no.
street was paved.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who was the first person you told about that?
It wasn't my wife, I'll tell you that. No, I think she found out the same time I did. I think I told my brother he lives out in Washington, because he handles a lot of the stuff that I do. And of course he wanted the check mailed to him, and I said, no, I'll just send you the receipt, and I'm going to put it in our account here in Kansas City. But I think he was the first one.
Yeah. Had you even heard about unclaimed property before that?
Yeah, I think I heard about it, but I didn't know I didn't have the foggiest idea how to claim it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the deal. And I think hopefully when people see this, that they will go on there and they'll say, hey, you know, look, it's going to take a minute. Let's go see if I overpaid taxes or if I lost something, or you can tell people a lot more about it than I am, but I'm just happy that I was let it known that I had money that you guys had of mine, and you were willing to give it to me. And there's thousands and thousands of Kansans that have that same issue. So why not go check and see?
So, and that was my last question. What would you do? And when you said, go check missingmoney.ks.gov. And
it's pretty simple.
It is.
It's pretty simple, and I'm going to remember that website, and I'm going to tell a lot of people that I know that live in the state of Kansas.
Well,
hey, go check it, but I want 1%. Anybody that gets anything, I want 1% of what you get back. Just one.
Just one. It's
just
a small
1%.
ask.
So if you get back $100, you owe me $1.
And the address.
And you don't even have to pay, but if you want to, I'll accept it.
Well, thank you so much for being with us
thanks for
today.
coming out.
Great to be here.
Just a small finder's fee, I guess. But thank you to Treasurer Stephen Johnson and the work you and your team are doing in Kansas. My time here is almost over, but I want to close out by encouraging you to visit missingmoney.com and start your search. In my role here at the National Association of State Treasurers, I've seen firsthand the impact these programs provide to their constituents. I've even found money that was sitting in the Washington, D.C. Treasury years ago. So it happens to everybody. I encourage you to go to missingmoney.com, look for yourself, your family, friends, neighbors, everybody, and let them know. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to Christina Lambert, Director of External Relations at the Massachusetts State Treasury and Chair of our NAPA Communications Committee, to continue our program. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Sean. I'm Christina Lambert from the Massachusetts Unclaimed Property Division. Welcome to the Find My Funds Search-a-thon. We are on a mission to solve the mystery of missing money, and we need your help to reach a massive goal. Head over to missingmoney.com right now to start your free search. We are aiming to hit a milestone of 100 million searches since our 2022 launch, and your name could be on the next one found. If you find a match today, don't keep it a secret. Visit unclaimed.org/found and share your success story with us. Finally, make sure to stay connected by following the Missing Money Facebook page and join the community to get the latest updates on how to claim what's rightfully yours. Let's keep searching. Next, we are heading to the Cornhusker State, where the search for lost cash is not slowing down. We are joined live by Treasurer Joey Spellerberg. Treasurer Spellerberg and his team are on a mission to ensure no dollar is left behind. Welcome to the show, Treasurer.
Thank you, Christina. It's great to be a part of the Search-a-thon today. Again, my name is Joey Spellerberg. I have the honor of serving as the Treasurer of the great state of Nebraska. As you mentioned, the Cornhusker State. And so I was sworn in November 6th, appointed by our governor, Governor Pillen. And it really is the honor of a lifetime to serve as treasurer. And one of my goals is to make sure we aggressively return money back to Nebraskans. And so really appreciate today and getting the word out to Nebraskans and letting them know they may have unclaimed property. And our process is easy. And again, happy to be a part of this day today.
Thank you for joining us. How is Unclaimed Property Day being recognized in Nebraska this year?
Yeah, so I did request our governor as officially proclaiming February 1st as Unclaimed Property Day. And really the goal of that is just to build awareness. Number one, build awareness of the great staff and program that we have here in the Treasurer's Office. We have over $250 million of unclaimed property. This is Nebraskans' money. And build awareness to say, hey, Nebraskans, it's easy. Go to nebraskalostcash.gov. And this could be, again, a dormant checking account. It could be insurance proceeds, uncashed checks. And again, anywhere, yes, it could be a small amount to thousands. And so continuing to build awareness. And I appreciate our governor proclaiming it Unclaimed Property Day. And I hope it really does build awareness to Nebraskans.
Why should Nebraskans make it a priority to search for unclaimed property right now?
Yeah, I encourage them. Don't wait. Just takes a few minutes. Again, go to our website, nebraskalostcash.gov. You search your name. You can search your family's name. It'll come up with a list. And then if you find your name, you click File a Claim. And it's a very simple process to go through. We just verify some information from you. But if you look at Nebraska, we did a breakdown of our largest cities on how much unclaimed property is in each. And in the Omaha metro alone, we have almost $100 million of unclaimed property. In Lincoln, we have almost $30 million. In my hometown of Fremont, which is a town of just over 27,000 people, we have $2.7 million of their money that we, again, want to get back to them. So it is important that, again, 1 in 5 Nebraskans have unclaimed property. And just in my short time as treasurer, my aunt was a county treasurer in Nebraska for over 40 years. And I was able to host her out and take her to our office, and her mom, who had passed away, had some unclaimed property, and we filed a claim for her. And so I think it's really unique to see the stories, and people are excited, right? You get a check in the mail. You didn't know you had it, but hey, everybody has bills to pay, right? We have, bills, groceries, maybe a down payment on your first home, college savings. So this money could be used to benefit Nebraskans, and that's my goal as treasurer: is how can we do that? How can we get the word out? And so that's our goal.
That's great. Now, how easy is it for Nebraskans to search and claim their property?
Yeah, again, it's extremely easy. Just gonna take a few minutes. Again, nebraskalostcash.gov. Again, we're gonna verify some information from you. But again, our goal in our office is to get this money out the door and get it back to you. So, we're gonna try to make this as easy as a process as possible. We also have a location in Lincoln that you can visit. You also can call our office. We'll walk you through the process. And so we have unclaimed property in all 93 counties in Nebraska. And so we want to make sure that the process for you as a Nebraskan is simple, it's great customer service, and achieves our goal of getting this money back to you.
Any final thoughts for those joining us today?
No, I just want to thank you for this opportunity to be in front of the Search-a-thon and get the word out on unclaimed property. As I talk, a lot of Nebraskans don't realize that they have unclaimed property. Search for you, search for your family, search for your business. You never know what could have happened, why assets were lost, or what happens. And so no matter if you lived in Nebraska, you just moved to Nebraska, make it kind of your annual tradition to look for your name, especially right now, right? We're going to file for your taxes. Hey, maybe this is part of your plan is when you do that, you look for unclaimed property. So what we just want to help get the word out. Thank you for this opportunity, and go Big Red.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Christina.
Next up, we are going to be watching a video from our friends in Oklahoma.
Hi, I'm Oklahoma State Treasurer Todd Russ. I'm so excited to be a part of the live event for the National Association of Unclaimed Property Administrators. Here in Oklahoma, unclaimed property is about more than numbers. It's about returning resources to people and organizations who earned them. We operate a secure unclaimed property vault on site at the Oklahoma State Capitol, and we've recently opened 2 new rural satellite offices to serve more Oklahomans right here in their own neighborhoods. Right now, Oklahoma has more than $1.4 billion in unclaimed property ready to be returned to individuals, families, and businesses across our state. And sometimes returning that money makes a real and immediate difference. Just recently, we helped save a summer reading camp hosted by Wesley United Methodist Church in El Reno. After a sudden cut in funding, the future of the camp was uncertain until unclaimed property was found for them.
Project Transformation is an 8-week summer literacy day camp serving elementary children all across Oklahoma who are behind in their reading. They work on their reading. They also participate in STEM and recreation and art and all sorts of different fun things. We hired 36 college-age young adults who serve 268 children in 6 locations across Oklahoma. In April of 2025, we unexpectedly lost our funding from AmeriCorps, at which time we'd already hired all of our young adults, children had already enrolled in our program, and I had planned to sunset our 23-year-old program at the end of the summer. Because of this unexpected gift from Unclaimed Property, we were able to not only fund our summer program, but it provided enough runway for us to pivot to new sources. I just want to say a grateful word of thanks to the United Methodist who left this money and for the State Treasurer's Office for faithfully stewarding it. And because of this collaboration, our program has a future and will continue to serve Oklahoma children and give college-age young adults workforce development opportunities and money for college.
The $1.4 billion isn't government money. That's money that people like you and businesses in Oklahoma have earned, and we want to pay that back. If you've lived in Oklahoma or know someone who has, there's a good chance they may have unclaimed property. I encourage you to go to yourmoney.ok.gov and check today. You might be surprised what you find.
All right. Next, we're heading to the Bayou State, where Louisiana is proving that sometimes the best news comes in a blue envelope. State Treasurer John Fleming and his team are on a mission to return more than $1.2 billion in unclaimed assets back to people. The message from the Treasury is clear. If you see that blue check in your mailbox, it's real, it's yours, and you should cash it. Let's see how they're helping Louisianans claim what they're owed.
Welcome everyone, Jeff Carrere here, Communications Director for the Louisiana Department of Treasury. This is our episode number 2 podcast. Very pleased to introduce our State Treasurer, the Honorable Dr. John Fleming. Dr. Fleming, how are you?
Jeff, doing great, thank you.
On this episode, we're going to talk about what goes on in probably Dr. Fleming's favorite division of the Department of Treasury, and that is unclaimed property.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, unclaimed property is really, we are holding other people's money. And how does it come to us? It could be an account that was forgotten about, maybe a deposit for a rental. it could be a tax refund, it could be an inheritance, and the institution may not be able to find the legal owner. So they provide it to us, and it's our responsibility to find the people who this money's owed to, and we provide it to them. And really, we churn hundreds of millions of dollars a year of money that comes to us, getting it back to the rightful owners.
Some stats that I think everyone should know. We have over $1 billion in this fund to give away, and 1 in 6 people in Louisiana have unclaimed property. It's amazing.
Yes, it really is. And sometimes it could be as little as $50. Sometimes it could be hundreds of thousands of dollars. And one of the things that we do, Jeff, is what's called a data match, where we reach out to the Department of Revenue that has the name IDs of Louisianans, and if we can match those up, we'll send them the money even without notification. But in some cases, we just don't have everybody's ID, and we may be holding money. So we do recommend that Louisianans do this periodically, once or twice a year. Go to our website, lacashclaim.org, lacashclaim.org, or just come to our Treasury website where you can find a button for this. You put a little bit of your personal information in this, and if there's money owed to you, you can claim it right there, and people usually get it in about 3 days.
And the process is simple. We got a staff that does a great job getting the money out, because we don't want to be holding it. We want to get it back to the people. Right?
Absolutely. And the legislature and the governor cannot touch it. So if you don't claim your money, then someday your heirs will get it, but not the government. This is totally firewall from the state government or federal government.
And another thing, this is not just individuals, but small businesses and also nonprofits. We were at Southern University recently giving a check.
Yes, we did. We gave a several $1,000 check to Southern University, and we may have a much bigger check that we're going to give to them pretty soon.
Right.
So it could be any entity. It could be your business. It could be a family member. It could be a deceased relative. It could be even another governmental entity, as you see with the Southern University. So any entity out there who may have lost track of money, and that's easy to do, could indeed have money waiting for them.
And there is a verification process, because we want to make sure it goes to the right people, and that's what our staff does, goes through and make sure the correct person is getting the money.
That is correct. And also, I mentioned, you heard me say about the data match. We send those checks out spontaneously. So, for instance, one of the most recent ones we did, we sent out 143,000 checks amounting to $34 million. So one of our checks could just one day end up in your mailbox. And believe it or not, some people, thinking that it's some kind of promotion or scam, throw the check away. So we ask people, look, if it's coming from the Department of Treasury in Louisiana, has my name on it, at least attempt to deposit it. For heaven's sakes, don't throw that check away.
And we have to tell the story about the one person that you gave the big check to, who was actually homeless, right? That our office gave to.
We actually had a gentleman that we could not find, that we owed him over $200,000. And the reason why we couldn't find him is he was homeless. But we did track him down, and we did give him his money. And so we feel so good about the fact that people are being reconnected with their assets. Very important job that we have here at the Treasury.
Well, thank you for all that, Dr. Fleming. Appreciate it very much. And folks, go to lacashclaim.org and get your money there.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Behind every search on missingmoney.com is a powerful engine designed to reunite people with their assets. And today we're pulling back the curtain on the technology and expertise that makes it all happen. Joining us for our live partner spotlight is Christy Carlo, sorry, Christy, the Director of CAPS Operations at Kalmar Associates. Kalmar is the proud host of Missing Money platform and a national leader in providing the specialized tools and security that state treasuries rely on to manage billions in unclaimed property. With over 25 years of experience in state treasury programs, In unclaimed property operations, Christy is an industry innovator dedicated to making the search process faster, safer, and successful for everyone. Thank you for joining us, Christy.
Yes, happy to be here. Thank you, Christina.
Some Facebook commentators on the missing money posts question the legitimacy of the site and the claim process. What advice can you give to the public?
Well, first of all, to those that are suspicious, I would like to say great job. It is prudent to always be very wary of website links and requests for personal information. We do encourage everyone to verify that they are on the authentic missing money site before providing personal information. And of course, the state sites directly as well. Bad actors can often register domain names or disguise links that they send to you to make it look like it is a legitimate site when it's not. So great job, and it's great to be wary. When in doubt, we recommend that people search independently for the site that they're looking for using Google, going to their state's homepage, for example, rather than accessing it via a link from an unsolicited source or email. As you've learned on this broadcast today, many state government executives, they directly endorse missing money as the only legitimate national unclaimed property website, and most directly link to it right from their official sites. So you can verify the legitimacy by checking your state's website first. A Google search will also bring us up first in the results, but be wary. And then finally on that topic, I would say to help us build trust and also to help your friends and your family, once you've confirmed yourself that it's a legitimate site and perhaps even been reunited with your own unclaimed property, share the site and join our social media pages. Personal recommendations from trusted sources are invaluable.
That's so true. With so many online scams, how can one be confident they are not being scammed under an unclaimed property or missing money guise?
Yeah, the biggest red flag is if you're being asked to pay for an unclaimed property search or pay a portion of your funds identified to another party. This can most likely be a scam, and you should be extremely cautious. All state-held unclaimed property is listed on their site and on Missing Money, and folks can search there and claim it for free always. If you're unsure how to file a claim, check the state's webpage FAQs. Many provide great guidance on how to file a claim, and the process is very straightforward. If you still need help, we recommend that you contact the state directly. They're always willing to help people find their property and to reunite them with their money. That's what they're there for. And we provide contact for every state on our Missing Money States page. And one caveat to this warning I just want to share, though, is that there are some legitimate service providers authorized in certain states to legally charge. They're what we in the industry refer to as asset locators, finders, or air finders. None of them, though, should ask you for money upfront or for any payment information, and know that the services that they are providing are those same services that we are showing you that you can do for free yourself. In the event you want a little help, though, there are some legitimate companies that do help.
What should a person do if they are not certain the property listed is theirs, but they think it might be?
File a claim. It's completely acceptable to file a claim even if you're uncertain. We do get a lot of questions about that on our Missing Money social media pages. I think some naturally feel that filing a claim is them saying that they know for certain that it's theirs, when that's really not what a claim is about. Think of a claim as like an inquiry almost. So states review the information provided on a claim and oftentimes might request additional information if needed, documentation, for example. As long as the information that you provide is always accurate and in good faith, you're doing the right thing. It's important to note that property does sometimes become unclaimed, though, due to incorrect information. So perhaps a retailer owed you money, and they had a wrong house number, or they misspelled your name, and maybe that's why you didn't get the money to begin with. So if what you're seeing on the site looks like it might be yours, but it's a little off, that is definitely okay to file a claim as well. No harm done. It's just an inquiry. And it's a common question worth noting that people frequently find the name of a deceased relative. So if you're next of kin, an heir, or maybe you handled their final affairs as their executor, you might be entitled to the funds, so you should also file a claim in that example.
Why does Missing Money or the state ask for a social security number? People are often cautious about providing it?
Yeah, caution is wise and understandable when it comes to Social Security numbers, for sure. The concern does cause some potential claimants to question legitimacy of the process in general as well, because we're warning everybody, don't give your personal information. However, in the case of unclaimed property, many states do require the Social Security number due to policies, procedures, laws. Another thing with socials is that companies reporting the funds to the states often have the owner's Social Security number. So states may have received that with the money, and that's an element that the state can use to tie a claimant as the owner. So it does help reunite people more confidently and sometimes more quickly. If you're still uncomfortable providing the information online, however, we recommend that you reach out to the state directly, explore alternative filing methods that they might have. Ultimately, you still may be required to provide the social, but maybe in an alternative way rather than putting it on the site. But in the event you're okay putting it on the site, just make sure you're on the legitimate site. It's because those are safe and secure.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining and sharing all that. And, it will lead to more people searching and claiming. Thank
Yeah,
you, Christy.
thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
All right. Next, we're heading to the Badger State for high stakes look inside the Wisconsin Department of Revenue. Ever wonder what happens when a safe deposit box is left behind? We are going behind the scenes in Madison, where the Unclaimed Property Unit is opening boxes filled with everything from graded silver coins to, believe it or not, nearly over 160,000 in cold hard cash. Let's see what other treasures they're uncovering today.
We are at the Madison office for the Wisconsin Department of Revenue. Today I hear that they're opening safety deposit boxes in the Unclaimed Property Unit. So let's go in and take a look and see what they found. So would you be willing to show us exactly how this works and what you're doing today?
Yeah, absolutely. I have one right here. Let's get into it.
Great.
So all we do is we get this from the bank, and it's always a surprise. You never know what you're going to get in here. So let's see what we've got. Looks like we have some silver here. Looks like someone's coin collection that they forgot about, or, unfortunately someone passed away and didn't tell their family that they had a safekeeping box, which is why they end up with us. Yeah, a bunch of silver coins here. If you can see someone's graded coin set.
And what happens from here once you discover all these valuable items?
Their name will be out on our website, and they can come and retrieve all of these items. If they're not retrieved, we will send them to auction, and the public has a chance to buy all of these items. And then the cash that is raised from selling them comes back just as cash for the owners still to have value from their safekeeping box.
Very sad to think that somebody's valuable coin collection is just in the custody of the Wisconsin Department of Revenue and may be sold off. I understand you're the supervisor here. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So what other kinds of things does the Unclaimed Property Unit handle here besides the safe deposit boxes?
Any business or organization that has something that doesn't belong to them that has a monetary value. So maybe an uncashed paycheck or an overpayment of a bill. It could be stocks, or as you've seen, contents of safe deposit boxes. By law, they turn those over to us if they're not able to return them to their rightful owner. We act as a custodian of those funds until the rightful owner is able to come forward, or perhaps their heirs.
But do you get any other physical property?
We do not. And sometimes people are confused about that, and we'll call and ask. We've actually had somebody ask if they could turn over a lost goat to us. We don't take goats. It's mostly money. The only physical property that we do get is when it comes from a safe deposit box at a bank.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Do you mind telling us what you're doing here today?
So today we are doing safekeeping, and actually it's a very exciting time. My favorite time.
This one I noticed says contains firearm. Is there any special precaution you take, or do you just open this up and see if it actually does contain a firearm?
Yes, let's just open it and see what's inside of this bag. Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh, look at this cash.
Yeah, that's amazing. Let's get inside of this.
There is truly a firearm here. We have a firearm in a bag.
This one looks like it's a magazine, and the pencil there for a reason. What's inside? Wow.
This is an amazingly large amount of cash.
Yes, yes. Wow. And we have more. And more.
I mean, the envelopes just keep coming out.
Yes. And there's more and more and more. It's keep coming and coming and coming. Oh my gosh.
I am just amazed that somebody has this amount of cash and left it in a bank, and it is now with the Wisconsin Department of Revenue as unclaimed property. So all of this cash that you received here today in this box, is this normal? Do you come across this regularly, or is this kind of an unusual circumstance?
Kind of unusual to have this much cash.
What's the actual value of all this money that sits here in front of you?
$165,720. 1 in 7 people has unclaimed property, so it's really worth checking your website and see maybe if you or your friends or your family has unclaimed property. It's really easy to file a claim. You can do it right from our website. It takes just a few minutes, and if you've got money out there, it's going to serve you better than it is sitting here with us.
Search their website, because 1 in 7 has unclaimed property here in Wisconsin.
Those were some great treasures. Next up, we're highlighting an incredible partnership.
Be honest. Probably use it for late night snacks. Do stuff like that. Yeah.
Pay off as many debts as possible and use it to help grow our frat.
What are you going to do with this money?
I'm going to take you guys on vacation. We just got off vacation. We're going to go on another one.
So from one thrill to another thrill.
And you guys help do it.
This man finding enough, at least for a snack. Under 25. Okay. I can get you a burger or something here.
Going to her part of her tuition. Oh.
What am I going to do with the money? I'm going to spend it on all my kids here.
These funds will go into our services, which is building economic wealth, empowering families, and enhancing our environment.
Well, actually super cool because I'm a part-time caregiver for my elderly mom, and private care is not cheap. So actually this is something we actually need.
So what are you going to spend it on?
Toys. There you go.
So excited to tell his wife, we just had to give her a call. He has $1,500.
I already picked out my latest percent.
How much?
$30.
$30? All right, $30. That sounds like a couple hot dogs. So what are you going to do with the money?
Give it to my kids for their little small business.
$822 from an old insurance policy. Money she says she's putting towards a new car.
So tell me, what exactly you're going to spend on this?
Sell the tickets.
Or
$21.08.
$21. All right, so it's $21 more than you had.
It pays for the parking.
This is going to go to our foundation, and it's going to help with our youth and education programs throughout Tampa Bay.
I got $141.06. Inflation is happening, so an extra $141 is nice.
What are you going to do with this money?
Back to school shopping.
Well, I'm thrilled to say that with this gift, we'll be able to fund 150 projects across the country, all focused on nature and gardening in the spirit of this donor's legacy.
Are you kidding me?
That's fantastic. We're going to Disneyland.
What are you going to do? We got a casino right here. You want to use it there?
Maybe we'll go to Margaritaville.
This man, he managed to find $208 for his wife from past employers. That's amazing.
It's absolutely amazing.
I was in shock. I can't believe that there was just this money this whole time that, I had no idea was waiting for me and was available to me.
I feel great. How would you feel if you got back $229?
Here is your check for $529.
Woo! I got so lucky to get some, and everyone, when they stop you and ask you, you want to check, you should say yes.
You were watching GMA and you went online and you found how much?
$328 from college from 2008.
I did not think I had any money. Seriously, this is awesome. What a great day.
stories, this woman looked up several members of her family and got multiple hits.
Wow, there's money here, there's money there, and you just put it all together and voila.
Hopefully you can find some use for $1,226.93.
All right. What?
Over $4,000.
Oh, wow.
4,000.
Nice little surprise for your dad, almost $6,000.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, what? That's crazy.
Bank after finding nearly $3,000.
Looks like we have $60.
Oh, nice.
Nice. There you go.
Here you go.
$985.91.
Okay.
$44.04.
Okay.
And then $487.94.
Oh, you guys are the best. You guys are great.
You just found $1,500.
Oh, my wife is going to be so happy I found $1,500.
And
for
you
her.
were sitting behind this fence here and saying, no, you know what? I don't need to check.
I had no idea. This is great.
Jimmy! $820! Woo!
25 big ones.
His total? $4,681. Are you shocked?
Yes, I'm very shocked. Made my day. I wasn't expecting this at all.
Marsha, you came for a game.
Yes.
And ended up with $91.
Yes. Yay! Thank God.
$78.
Hey, something is better than none.
That's right. That's right.
Good morning, America.
And
shut up.
that's yours. You got the money.
$1,700.
No. What?
Those Show Me the Money segments are great to see. Well, my time here is almost over, but I want to close out by encouraging everyone to share your story, join the conversation, and share your reaction or even what you plan to do with your funds at unclaimed.org/found. Your story could be the inspiration someone else needs to start their search. I have seen firsthand the impact on these programs. I will turn it over to Hesh, manager of the Unclaimed Property Unit at the Maryland Comptroller's Office, to continue our program.
Okay. Thank you, Christina. Good afternoon. Again, my name is Hesh Singapore, director of the Unclaimed Property Program for the awesome state of Maryland. If you are just joining us, welcome to the Find My Funds Search-a-thon. We are on a mission to solve the mystery of missing money, and we need your help to reach a massive goal. Head over to missingmoney.com right now to start your free search. We are aiming to hit a milestone of 100 million searches since our 2022 relaunch, and your name could be the next one found. If you find a match today, don't keep it a secret. Visit unclaimed.org/found and share your story with us. Finally, be sure to stay connected by following the Missing Money Facebook page. Join our community to get the latest updates on how to claim what is rightfully yours. Let's keep searching. Okay, let's continue. Next up, we have the safe deposit boxes, which are often the keepers of our most precious memories and valuable heirlooms. But what happens when these boxes go forgotten? From rare collectibles and jewelry to life-changing amounts of cash, the journey of these abandoned treasures is truly fascinating. Perhaps most significantly, state unclaimed property offices go to extraordinary lengths to reunite families with military medals, symbols of service and sacrifices that are never auctioned off. Let's take a closer look at the process of uncovering these hidden treasures and how you can reclaim a piece of your family's history.
Hi there.
Ever wonder what happens to the forgotten treasures tucked away in old safe deposit boxes? You might be surprised to learn that thousands of these boxes, often filled with valuables and memories, are lost or abandoned each year. Today, we're going to uncover the journey of these items and how they might just be waiting for you to claim them. First off, what's a safe deposit box? Think of it as a personal, secure locker at a bank for your most important belongings. For generations, people have used them to store everything from crucial documents like birth certificates and property deeds to precious family heirlooms, rare collectibles, and even treasured jewelry. But what happens when the yearly rent on a safe deposit box isn't paid? After a certain period of time with no contact from the owner, typically a few years as defined by state law, the contents are considered abandoned. Please note that some states don't accept tangible property. The bank will then, under strict legal guidelines, drill open the box and take a detailed inventory of everything inside. These items are then carefully packaged and sent to the state's Unclaimed Property Division. Now, the state's primary goal is to reunite you with your property. But if the rightful owner can't be found, many of the items are eventually auctioned to the public. This can include a wide array of fascinating finds, from vintage coins and currency to unique jewelry and collectibles. The proceeds from the auction are then available for the original owner or their heirs to claim. Some states require the bank to perform the auctions and just receive proceeds. However, some items are too precious to be sold. States go to extraordinary lengths to handle military medals with the honor and respect they deserve. Special programs are in place to identify and locate the veterans or their families to whom these symbols of service and sacrifice belong. These medals are never auctioned. So, could you have forgotten treasures waiting for you? It's easier than ever to find out. Visit missingmoney.com to search for your name or unclaimed.org to learn more. It's free, it's easy, and you just might rediscover a piece of your family's history. Thanks for watching. Start your search today.
Okay, next we are traveling to the Grand Canyon State for a very special presentation. Joining us live for a narrated tour of their program is Rebecca Wilder from the Arizona Department of Revenue. Arizona has been incredibly proactive in the mission to return the money, recently returning a record-breaking $61 million to rightful owners in a single fiscal year. From forgotten utility deposits to long-lost family heirlooms, the Arizona team is working tirelessly to clear the books. Rebecca, the floor is yours. Tell us what we're seeing in the Arizona treasure hunt.
Good afternoon. I'm Rebecca Wilder with the Arizona Department of Revenue, and I'm happy to join this webinar to give you a glimpse into our agency's Unclaimed Property Program. First, I wanted to share a success with you that has greatly improved the experience for those submitting a claim with our agency. In Arizona, we're always looking for ways to provide the best service to the public that we can. Recently, ADOR undertook an effort to make the process easier. We realized that the existing claims process was long and could potentially be cumbersome. We had 4 separate forms that could be filled out and submitted to the agency depending on the scenario. But through formal problem-solving activities, our team was able to combine these 4 forms into just one form, and it's only 2 pages long. We were also able to realign some internal resources to reduce a backlog of claims, and these improvements have helped us to reduce our claims processing time to under 30 days, often much less. Next, I wanted to share a very interesting and I think fun aspect of our Unclaimed Property Program. We often talk about the financial assets, but what happens with physical property that goes unclaimed? Physical property comes to us from safe deposit boxes that have been abandoned, and they're presumed abandoned if they remain unclaimed by the owner for more than 3 years after the expiration of the lease or rental period. Abandoned safe deposit box contents must be reported annually to the department before November 1st and are delivered in person by bank employees or by courier delivery. Once we receive these items, they're stored in our vault. Now I'll show you a video of our vault and some of the types of items that we hold for safekeeping. The vault is a highly secure space deep below the ground. The department has a robust multi-factor security protocol to enter and exit the vault, and strict permissions as to who can access the space. This ensures that physical items are always secured. The vault holds millions of dollars worth of property in these boxes. The contents of safe deposit boxes we receive are inventoried and labeled and kept safe as we work to find the rightful owners of the property. Common items are gold and silver bars and coins, vintage jewelry, watches, paper stocks and bonds, and baseball cards. We see some unusual items too, such as a custom cosplay dagger. We've seen a vintage shark's tooth, unique foreign coins, and yes, even gold teeth. But as you can tell, ADOR wouldn't have the space to keep all the property we receive each year. After 3 years, these items are sold at our annual auction. Each item is appraised, and we work with the local auction house, Sierra Auctions, to set up and manage the event. In past years, the auction was a one-day in-person event. However, since 2021, the auction has been online only and runs for about 5 days, which allows more people to view the items and place a bid, hoping for that valuable and unique item. This model has increased our ability to liquidate more physical property while maximizing the proceeds we receive for the property. But the state doesn't keep these funds. Sales from the auction have averaged over $500,000 in the last 5 years. That amount fluctuates based on the number of items in the auction and the value of each item. However, proceeds from the sale of the auction items are then held in an account for the rightful owner to claim for up to 35 years. The Arizona Department of Revenue is happy to provide this service to the public and is eager to reunite the property we hold for safekeeping with its rightful owner. Maybe that's you. Visit our website at azdor.gov/unclaimed-property or go to missingmoney.com to see if we're holding assets that belong to you, whether it's monetary or physical property. If you've ever lived in or done business in Arizona for any amount of time, we encourage you to search. Don't let your property go to auction. Search today. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Rebecca. From Arizona, we are traveling to the Gem State, where finding your forgotten funds is easier than ever. Joining us live is John Fulton, the Unclaimed Property Manager for the Ohio State Treasurer's Office. John and his team have been working hard making sure these assets are returned to the rightful owners across the state. John, welcome to the telethon. We love to hear about, welcome. We love to hear about the recent successes your office has had and what Idahoans should look for when they start their search.
Yeah,
yes, please continue.
Sure. Yeah, thanks for having me. I just want to talk a little bit about our program first. So Idaho Unclaimed Property is part of the Idaho State Treasurer's Office. We're under the leadership of the current treasurer, Julie Ellsworth. We're a pretty small department. We have 13 people on our team. 10 of those are fully dedicated to working on those thousands of claims we receive every year.
Very good. Thank you, John. I do have a follow-up question for you. How much unclaimed property is Idaho currently safeguarding for its citizens?
Sure. Yeah. Right now we have over 300 million in unclaimed funds. We receive about 50 million every year. That's why it's important to check at least once or twice a year at our website, which is yourmoney.idaho.gov or missingmoney.com. New money comes in all the time. People ask me a lot, is like, where's all this money come from? It could be an old bank account or a CD, uncashed paychecks. It could be utility or rental deposits, insurance payments. We do receive safe deposit box contents, insurance payouts, maybe a refund from a store, retirement, or a tax refund. And another common issue I run into when I'm out there talking to the public about unclaimed property is most people think, oh, I didn't lose any money. I don't have anything. But you might be surprised, about 1 in 7 people have unclaimed property. It's quick, it's easy, and it's free to search. And I always like to share some stories that might incentivize people to go search. One recent claim that really stands out in my mind is we had a family that claimed on behalf of their late grandfather, and they were able to claim over $300,000 that they didn't even know existed. Obviously, that's a lot of money, can make a big difference in somebody's life. Again, searching is easy. Our website is yourmoney.idaho.gov, or you can go on missingmoney.com. I always like to give some tips to help people kind of maximize their search. So here's just some simple things you can do to make a big difference. First, make sure that you're using all versions of your name. So if you check your maiden name, if you change your name, obviously if you have a nickname, like if you're like Joseph but go by Joe, check both versions of your names. Definitely search for deceased relatives that might be out there. But you can also search for your living relatives, friends, other people you know. I mean, obviously you can't claim on someone else's property, but if you get them some money, they might, take you out to lunch or something. It's always fun. So this next tip is really important. Make sure you're on an official website when you're searching, like state website. Ours is yourmoney.idaho.gov or missingmoney.com. And kind of along those lines, we don't ever charge a fee for this service. So if you have someone contacting you, either calling you or emailing you or sending you a letter saying, hey, we have unclaimed property for you, but we're going to charge you a fee or take a percentage of that, they're not affiliated with us. I would recommend, if you get something like that, go to your state's website, go to missingmoney.com and search that, and we will help you with that claim at no charge. I also want to mention that if you are a business or an organization that needs to report missing money to Idaho, our website, yourmoney.idaho.gov, has reporting instructions. It also has a secure portal that you can report that property to and send that money to us directly. We also have contact information there if you need to talk directly to a business reporting specialist. Again, just want to say thanks for letting me talk for a little bit. And I'll pitch the website once again. It's yourmoney.idaho.gov and then also missingmoney.com. All right, thanks, Ash.
Excellent. John, those are some good pointers for anyone who's looking to file a claim. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. While we often focus on the staggering billions of dollars safeguarded by state treasury offices, the true heart of the mission lies in the personal stories of individuals and families reunited with what is rightfully theirs. Every claim represents a solved mystery, whether it's a $500 check that provided a critical lifeline for a family during the pandemic, or the breathtaking discovery of $166,000 in cash tucked away in a forgotten safe deposit box. These stories remind us that unclaimed property isn't just about ledger entries. It's about returning heirlooms, uncashed paychecks, and long-lost inheritance to the people who need them the most. Let's take a look at state employees sharing some of their favorite claim stories.
It has to do with our auto match program. Anything over $2,000, we send out a letter, and a person signs the letter, we send the money back out to them. But we got a call from this girl who had just graduated from college. She had gotten a letter. We said, you have $32,000, and she just couldn't believe this was real. It was. Her grandparents had bought her stock of John Deere. She had lost track of it. We were able to pay her out. She was able to buy a car, and it was a great start for her. She was just finishing college.
My favorite story is I was in a theater looking up property, and I found property for my son. It was $4,000. The best part, it was right before Mother's Day, and he ended up buying a really beautiful bracelet for me.
My favorite claim story was a guy who reached out to our office. He had been trying to find some lost bonds going back months. He'd just been given the runaround from some of these banks who had been handling his bonds. And after he reached out to our office, we got his bonds located and found within about a day and returned to him within 20 days. And just the sheer relief he gave for how easy our process was after getting the runaround just was a great kind of memory of how good government's able to be when it's ran well.
My favorite claim story was, it was a relatively small claim. It was only about $1,300, but we heard from the recipient that she was able to have a much needed eye surgery. She was losing sight and losing her vision altogether. So with that surgery, she was able to continue to see. Thanks.
My favorite claim story is returning contents to a daughter for her father's unclaimed property from a safe deposit box. I returned some gold coins and some jewelry. And then I pulled out an old crinkled up dollar bill, and she was most satisfied to get the dollar bill back because it was one that he actually kept in his pocket every day in the fields when he was farming.
My favorite unclaimed property story was fielding a call from an individual that wanted to share what the money meant to him. What did it mean? It meant that he could offer his son's college friends to all come home and cook the most delicious Thanksgiving dinner together. And he said up until that money was returned to him, that wouldn't have been possible. Very memorable.
My favorite claim was returning 3 gold records to the Bishop family in Philadelphia. Jimmy Bishop and his wife Louise Bishop, also called the Queen of Gospel, were music icons back in the R&B Philadelphia music industry. They were also promoters of wonderful groups like the Jackson 5 and
Okay, thank you. So to wrap up my segment, we're headed to the treasurer state. We're providing that Montana style means more than just beautiful landscapes. It means returning millions of dollars to rightful owners. The Montana Department of Revenue safeguards a treasure trove of forgotten assets. And in this next feature, you'll get a high energy look at the Montana style of reuniting residents with their money, plus a quick walkthrough of their easy to use search portal at mycash.mt.gov.
Did you know the state of Montana is holding millions of dollars in unclaimed property waiting to be returned to its rightful owners? There are actual treasures waiting to be claimed. Unclaimed property isn't just lost cash, but all kinds of assets that belong to individuals or businesses but haven't been claimed yet. This can include things like forgotten bank accounts, uncashed checks, utility deposits, insurance proceeds, or contents of a safe deposit box. These boxes may contain coins, precious metals, jewels, priceless heirlooms, and valuable pieces of history. Search today using the Montana Unclaimed Property portal at mycash.mt.gov. That's right, it's time. So let's go search today at mycash.mt.gov. Visit the Montana Unclaimed Property website at mycash.mt.gov. Click on the Search for Unclaimed Property tab. Under the Quick Links, and select the Search for Unclaimed Cash tab. Here you will enter your first, middle, and last name or a business name into the search bar. If the system finds a match, you'll see a list of properties that may be associated with you. If you recognize the listing as yours or could potentially be yours, select all the items and begin the claims process. If your claim is approved, your property is returned to you. And the best part is, it's free. So search today at mycash.mt.gov. You might be surprised by what you find.
Hey Montana, listen here. There's money waiting every year. Hundreds of thousands, yes it's true. Some of that cash belongs to you. Lost track of a check or a claim, a refund tied to your old name. Come take a look, don't miss your shot. Montana's holding what you forgot. Search today, it's fast and free. Find your hidden treasure spree. Montana Unclaimed Property. Your money's waiting, come and see. Search today, it's fast and it's free. That's mycash.mt.gov. No cost to search, no fee to file. Honest help, Montana style.
Very good. Great video, Montana. My time is up, but I want to close out by encouraging you to visit missingmoney.com and start your search today. I have seen firsthand the impact these programs have on their constituents. Okay, now I will turn it over to Susie Wagner, Outreach Supervisor for the Ohio Division of Unclaimed Funds and Vice Chair of our NAPA Communications Committee for the final segment of our program. Susie, take it over.
Thanks, Hesh. Again, I'm Susie Wagner. If you're here and joining, I'm with the Ohio Department of Commerce Division of Unclaimed Funds. And if you're just joining us, it's happy Unclaimed Property Day. Welcome to the Find My Funds Search-a-thon. We are on a mission to solve the mystery of missing money, and we need your help to reach a massive goal. Head over to missingmoney.com, missingmoney.com right now to start your free search. We are aiming to hit a milestone of 100 million searches since our 2022 relaunch, and your name could be the next one found. So if you find a match today, don't keep it a secret. We want to know. Visit unclaimed.org/found and share your success story with us, okay? Don't keep it a secret. Finally, make sure to stay connected by following the Missing Money Facebook page. Join our community to get the latest updates on how to claim what is rightfully yours. Let's keep searching.
I'm Colorado State Treasurer Dave Young, and I'm pleased to be the president of the National Association of Unclaimed Property Administrators. State unclaimed property programs are returning money to people across the United States right now during the pandemic, and claiming your money is simple and safe to do at home.
I just went online, and a couple weeks later I got checks. Very, very easy.
See, that's Mary Jo from Nevada. She claimed during the pandemic. Athena did the same thing from her home in Texas. They're not computer whizzes, just people thrilled to claim their money at a time where every dollar is important.
And I put my name in the computer, and it doesn't take hardly any time, and you never know. I mean, I was flabbergasted.
Athena claimed hundreds of dollars from the Nevada State Treasurer's Office, again, all the way from her home in Texas.
It was really simple. It was 2 emails, and then bam, there was a check like the day before Christmas, which was really awesome.
She really got into checking online, which is great.
I would check for myself, I would check for friends and for family members, especially during this time with the pandemic. I found money for my cousin, my roommate, and another family member. And one of them is up over $1,000 from the state of Mississippi.
And do you think that this can help people during the pandemic?
Oh, absolutely. You know, I mean, there's just money sitting there.
Mary Jo from Reno, Nevada says claiming actually could be a lifesaver.
And if it's between paying for a prescription or, getting groceries, any little bit of found money is a blessing.
They both shared so people know state unclaimed property departments really help people.
I think it's important that people are aware that they're very proactive in making things easy for their citizens to get their business accomplished.
Let's revisit one of our greatest returns just to drive home how life-changing claiming can be. Brandy and Scott claimed money from the South Carolina State Treasurer's Office when their infant daughter was sick and they needed money fast.
That money came out of absolutely thin air.
because I put my name into a database search for the state.
$500 was more like $1 million at the time.
Check often for unclaimed property and encourage friends and loved ones to do the same. Visit unclaimed.org today.
As we head into our final hour and move out to the Pacific Northwest, it's time to talk about the Beaver State. Oregon has a truly unique way of making your missing money work for the community. When property goes unclaimed there, the funds are protected in the Common School Fund, where they earn interest to support K through 12 public schools across every corner of the state. So while the state is safeguarding your cash, it's also helping Oregon students thrive. Whether you're in Portland, Eugene, or out on the coast, there could be a piece of more than $1 billion in unclaimed property waiting for you. Let's see how Oregon is solving the mystery and getting those funds back where they belong.
Hello, everyone. I'm Oregon State Treasurer Elizabeth Steiner. Today, I want to talk about something that sounds like a movie plot, but is actually very real. Hidden treasure. Right now, our office is holding millions of dollars in unclaimed property. It belongs to people just like you, families, small business owners, and neighbors who have no idea it exists. My goal today is to explain what this is, clear up some common myths, and most importantly, tell you how to get your money back. So what is it? Simply put, unclaimed property is money or other assets that have been forgotten. When a company, like a bank, an insurance provider, or even an old employer, loses track of you for a few years, they can't just keep your money. By law, they are required to send it to the state treasury for safekeeping until we can reunite you with your money. It often includes things like forgotten savings accounts, uncashed payroll checks or tax refunds, utility deposits you forgot to get back when you moved, or the contents of old safe deposit boxes. The only way to find out if we are holding money for you is to check on our website. Now, because this sounds too good to be true, a lot of myths have popped up. Let's set the record straight. Myth number one. The state just wants to keep my money. Fact, actually, we want to give it back. The Treasury acts only as a custodian to hold your funds. There is no time limit to claim your property. It stays in our vault until you or one of your heirs comes forward. Myth number two, I have to pay a fee to get my money. Fact, we don't need you to pay money to get your own money back. Searching for and claiming your property through our office is 100% free. If someone calls you offering to find your money for a finder's fee or a percentage, saying no thanks, you can do it yourself on our website in minutes for zero cost. Myth, it's only money. Fact, while unclaimed property often includes money such as forgotten bank accounts, uncashed checks, and dormant savings bonds, it also encompasses a wide range of other assets such as jewelry, military medals, safe deposit contents, and more. Myth number four, it's only for deceased individuals. Fact, while it's true that unclaimed property can belong to individuals who have passed away, the vast majority belongs to living people. 1 in 7 individuals and businesses have unclaimed property waiting for them. Reclaiming what's yours is easy. Visit unclaimed.oregon.gov or missingmoney.com and just type in your name. If you find a match, the site will walk you through the claims process. You'll need to provide some basic information and an ID to prove it's you, as well as some additional documents for the more complex claims, and then we'll get a check in the mail. It's your money. You earned it, and we want to return it. Take 2 minutes today to check the website. You might just find a little treasure of your own. Thanks for watching.
Next, we're heading to the Evergreen State. where the Washington Department of Revenue is making it easier than ever to claim your cash. With a deep commitment to accessibility, their website is available in 7 languages, ensuring that every Washingtonian, regardless of their background, can participate in the treasure hunt. Let's take a look at how Washington is breaking down barriers and reuniting families with their money.
Our goal and our mission with Unclaimed Property in Washington State is to reunite Washingtonians with their lost and missing money. So we try to make it as easy and streamlined as possible for people to do that. And whether that's removing barriers or meeting people where they're at or just getting the word out, we really try to make customers' experience throughout the whole process of claiming their funds really, really easy.
We want to make it easier because we want every dime within unclaimed property to be paid out to the rightful owners. We are merely just the trust fund holders to get these funds back out to the person they belong to. The whole reason unclaimed property was enacted was to keep businesses from absorbing those funds. So the last thing we want to do is sit on those. We want to get them out and we want to make it easy for them because we understand this isn't a process people do every day and there's questions and it's difficult.
So one thing that we do that is super exciting and makes the whole process just really streamlined and mindless for our customers is our money match program. And last year we sent out $5.2 million to Washington residents through this program. It is completely automated. There is no application or fuss for the customer whatsoever. All that they get is a check in the mail that they have to take to the bank in cash.
It was real. Money from an old account that closed a while back. Came in clutch too, because I used it to get the lights turned on in the new spot I just rented. Without that check, I'd be sitting in the dark.
So something else that we do that is really beneficial for our customers is we have all of the experts ready to answer phone calls when anyone calls in or emails our office. The same people who are processing the claims are the ones helping our customers. So they don't have to go through these phone trees or anything like that to get the help that they need. They're directed right to the people who can process their claims and give them the direct and specific information that they need. So with knowledge being one of our most significant barriers with anything related to unclaimed property, we really aim to do as much outreach and education as we can. We're looking to seek out communities that might be more leery of an online process or more susceptible to scams, such as our senior citizens, to give them the education that they need, help them hands-on to search and file their claim online.
At first, I thought it might be a scam. It was just a card in the mail. But it turned out to be a legit Washington Gov site. The process was super easy. I just clicked the items that were mine, and later a check showed up in the mail.
A huge priority for us here in Washington State is having materials and forms available in multiple languages. And so that also shows on our website. We've translated it into 7 languages.
So businesses that report unclaimed property are a huge part of our program. Everything that's received in needs to be accurate, and we want to make sure we are getting that information accurate to be able to find the rightful owner. So we have multiple workshops scheduled throughout the year to make sure that they know their reporting obligations set out in law, so they can make sure to give us every detail about an individual so we can get the funds back out to the rightful owner. Claiming inheritance, that can be a huge challenge. Even if someone has passed away, we still need to make sure that we are paying the rightful owner, even if that person has passed away. And once we determine that's the rightful owner, we then need to make sure the person coming forward is a rightful heir to that individual's estate. So it can get really difficult, and it's not one size fits all. Part of our interactive tool that we're working on will help with some of that. It's going to ask very specific questions about what happened with that person's estate, so we can help walk them through the whole series of documents that might be required, which can be a lot. This will also help them maybe not feel so overwhelmed before they file the claim.
So in the end, this is your money, and we want to reunite it with you. And so making your experience easy and positive really helps us to reunite your funds with you, the rightful owner. And it's important because this is not the state's money. We hold it for you.
When I found out I had unclaimed funds, it honestly felt amazing. In a world where things don't always feel fair, this was a rare moment that did. It was a reminder that sometimes the system can work for you. The process was super easy. quick, and actually kind of exciting. Once I got the money, I used it to buy some new clothes for my kids, which was such a meaningful help.
Last year was a record-setting year for us. We returned $182 million to rightful owners of property, and I really think that that speaks to our ability to connect with people and make the process easy.
Next, we are highlighting a phenomenal partnership that brought the excitement of treasure hunt to living rooms across the nation. Good Morning America's Show Me the Money segments traveled coast to coast, surprising people in everyday places, from airport baggage claims to NBA finals, with the news that they had forgotten funds waiting for them. From life-changing checks of over $11,000 for members of Alpha Kappa Alpha to surprise findings in local fairs and high school games, reactions have been absolutely electric. These heartwarming moments remind us that this money belongs to everyday people, and finding it is always a reason to celebrate. If you've uncovered your own missing assets today, we want to celebrate with you. To help inspire others and share the joy of finding forgotten funds, please visit unclaimed.org/found to share your story and your reaction with us. Your experience could be the spark that encourages someone else to start their own search and find what they're owed.
Show me the money.
Grant, show me the money. Show me the money. Show me the money.
Show me the money.
Show me the money. Show me the money. Show me the money.
Show me the money.
Show me the money.
Show me the money.
Show me the money.
As a
show me the money.
The state comptroller just found $217 for me. Yeah! Show me the money.
Show me the money.
$2.70. Show me the money.
Show me the money.
That's right.
Show me the money.
Show me the money.
Show me the money.
Show me the money.
Well, I'm not seeing any questions in the chat, so we will go ahead and we've reached the finish line. For the last 3 hours, we have traveled across the country from Atlantic to the Pacific, helping Americans solve the mystery of their missing money. Over the last hours, you brought us closer to our 100 million searches milestone. The numbers are incredible, but the stories are even better. We've seen everything today, from residents finding old utility deposits to heirs discovering long lost family treasures. This isn't just about the money. It's about returning what's rightfully belongs to you and your neighbors. If you haven't searched yet, or if you were waiting for your state to be featured, don't wait another minute. The mystery doesn't have to end just because our show is. To help us reach our milestone of 100 million searches since our relaunch in 2022, please search missingmoney.com right now for yourself, your friends, your family, or business to find your property. And don't forget to look for any deceased loved ones that you may have. If you have found a cold case or a hidden treasure today, we want to celebrate with you. So please visit unclaimed.org/found to provide a testimonial and share your story. Finally, to stay connected with our mission and see more success stories, be sure to follow Missing Money Facebook page. Thank you for searching with us.